What's going on with Facebook?
Always not working. As usual.
Yeah, we're live on Twitter and YouTube. It's not saying it's going live on I will just post the link myself for Facebook. Uh yeah, so peace and welcome to the Tanya 23 experience once again. Working with a little technical difficulty over here. I'm trying to grab a link real quick. But yes, tonight we are going to deviate a little bit and go across the globe, family. And we are going to talk about this situation going on in Haiti. And we're also going to talk about the Congo situation. But the Haiti hold on. All right. I had to get the that was YouTube. So we're definitely live on YouTube. I am posting on Facebook the YouTube link and they can just join us over there. But yes, as I was saying, we're going global tonight to talk about this Haiti situation because it actually involves America quite a bit. It's not really talked about in the media too much. You have to go and look for the information. But yes, it's really going on over there. And you have a certain amount of migration that happens through Florida. And, a lot of people are seeking asylum just like they were in Mexico. But the people from Haiti are being turned away in America. So we have that as an issue also. And a lot of people say, oh, you don't want to holler racism. But what else is it? It's nothing else that I would apply it to because every other country gets to come over here and seek asylum. And as far as I'm concerned, if it's anything to do with a citizen being able to say who should come, I think that everyone should have equal opportunity. And as we can see, that is not happening. So we have with us tonight our brother Rizzy Riz, and we have our brother Raheem Shabazz. And we are going to get right into the situation. So, Brother Raheem was giving us a summary on the actual situation that's going on in Haiti. So, I'll turn it over to him right now.
Peace and black power first and foremost. And thank you once again for having me on board. And what's going on in Haiti is very upsetting. It's disturbing. First and foremost, like you said, they are turning away the Haitian brothers and sisters at the Florida border, and they are crossing nautical miles, 90 nautical miles from Haiti to Miami on small boats, 100 people on a small boat that could capsize at any minute. As soon as they hit the shores, they get turned around. And on the flip side, the Mexicans and the South Americans who are crossing the border, they're being let in. And so basically, my mind state is Haiti is having a civil war. Ever since their president was assassinated by mercenaries who were sent to Haiti to take him out due to the white imperialism. Yeah,
Brother Raheem, I don't hear your.
yeah, I can't hear the sound. Not hearing.
Brother Rizzy, can you say
In
something? Check
Congo
your.
too, the
Hear
minefields
me?
in Congo.
Yeah.
Hear y'all?
Yeah, I can hear you. We had a serious lag with you there, brother Raheem. That's what it was. You had a lag
Okay.
there for a second, so we kind of missed the last thing you said.
Yeah, my children was calling me on the phone.
Oh,
But
someone was calling. Okay.
but the main, basically to recap what I was saying, what's happening in Haiti is disturbing. That they're rich with resources besides the gold and diamonds and oil. They're lithium, they have uranium, and the white imperialism that's been dominating not just Haiti, not just Africa, but that's been dominating us, our culture, our
Mm-hmm.
community for decades since 1676. They've been in Haiti since 1818, dominating Haiti. Basically, they took out every president, almost every president of Haiti, murdered, assassinated, or sent to exile. And then you look at Haiti right now, like you mentioned earlier, the brothers that got broken out of prison. So you have a civil war going on in the community. In 2019, they killed the last president of Haiti in front of his wife and children. And who did it? White imperialism. Why? Because he was against them. So
Mm.
what we have right now is what's happening in Congo. What we have right in Haiti is happening in West Africa, in Gabon, in Togo. You know what I'm saying? Nigeria. White imperialism against the people. And and it's basically called an economic hitman where they send a group of mercenaries, a group of government agents to bring chaos and destroy the natural system or to destroy the natural resources or go against it. They set up their own establishment. So that's what the imperialism wants. They want their own establishment in Haiti. They want to control the resources. They don't want the black men and women of Haiti to control the resources. They took out the farmers. The farmers are controlled by the government now. There's white
You,
farmers in Haiti.
oh, the farmers in Haiti.
There's
Mm.
white farmers in Haiti right now. They took over the farmland. In the mountains of Haiti is where the natural resources are at. The uranium, the lithium. There's no
Mm.
black companies out there. There's
Wow.
companies from Canada. There's companies from Europe. There's companies from America. You remember what happened? The earthquake that happened in Haiti. You know how many
Mm-hmm.
white folks was out there. You know what
Yeah,
that
that was
earthquake was
in
about? That
2010.
wasn't a natural. Exactly. I was in the United States Navy during that time frame.
That
I was
was
supposed to be on the.
yeah, okay.
I was supposed to be on the USS Comfort to go out there
Mm-hmm.
during that time frame, but I didn't get selected for those orders, and I'm kind of upset I didn't get selected. But I was told none of the sailors was able to even get off the boat. You know what I'm saying? Because they already
Mm-hmm.
knew it was a bunch of BS. That was not a natural earthquake. That was an
Mm.
earthquake. That was a government experiment to shake up those mountains and get within those mountains to get that uranium and the lithium in there and ether.
Now
That's
you can
exactly what that was
confirm
about.
pretty much that they're using they have been
And they was
using
trafficking babies. They was trafficking
technology to
babies.
control the weather. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
to yeah,
Absolutely.
and
Y'all felt that
I
earthquake.
forget the
You felt
technical name, but I think it's frequency weapons pretty much to
exactly.
like have
Exactly.
earthquakes and whatnot.
Exactly. Heart. Heart.
Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. The heart
Exactly.
machine. So you've got
Exactly.
CERN and you've got HARP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And they was
that has
trafficking
been
babies
going
during
on.
that time frame.
Now, the only thing is, it's always put as a conspiracy, trying to, we're saying that we believe that that's where these things are coming from. But, how can you can't really prove it. There's got to be cold hard proof. And I guess 20 years down the line, like everything else, that will come out. But, yeah,
Hopefully it come out
I wish that
immediately.
that would come out now about those
Yeah.
things.
We
That would
gotta
be
get in
great.
the rabbit hole of the deep state. Keep on
Yeah. But that's
researching and getting the
definitely what's
story.
been going on in Haiti. So go ahead, finish your summary.
And also in Congo, they are basically they have a genocide in Congo. You have bodies in the rivers. You know what I'm saying?
Now, what
Thousands of
exactly?
bodies in the rivers. Like,
Uh-oh, we lost him. Well, here we go.
I need to emphasize this even more because
There we go. He'll be coming back.
there are black established prime ministers, generals, you know what I'm saying, government in West Africa, in Congo. You know what I'm saying? We have our own currency. When I say do for self, every black man and woman out there, 98% of them are doing for self. They own their own banks. They own their own barbershops. They own their own land. They own their own
Mhm.
resources. But white imperialism and Asian imperialism, the Chinese are out there too. They right
Mhm.
out there trying to take over the land. And that's part of the economic hitman where they send certain people to cause this the civilization within the community. So they'll have certain brothers going against each other and basically causing chaos, saying, don't vote for him, vote for this person because this person is going to do right by us. And even though that person might be controlled by the imperialism or the supremacy of Europe or the French or the daggone Dutch or the Norwegian, all of them have their hands in the plate of Africa when the black men and women of Africa need to take their resources back, take their power back,
Mhm.
take their land back. That's what when people say free the land, that's what it's really about. We got to free the land all the way from America across the pond to Africa in Haiti. You know what
Now,
I'm saying?
hasn't their leadership been under attack also? It's like whenever they get good leadership, something happens. Now, it was to my knowledge during the pandemic, all of a sudden 80 African presidents were
Right,
assassinated from 80 countries. And
right.
that was during the pandemic. Just
You
think,
so right. You
in
so right.
80 African countries, 80 presidents got assassinated
I
just
think the
during the pandemic.
I think the numbers
So
is all. I think the
that was a
numbers are all pretty
psyops,
right though.
obviously. Yeah, that was a psyops, obviously. And
Because
then the
they
new,
didn't want their people to take the COVID shot. They didn't want to bring that COVID message in. That's exactly what they
right.
did. They was against it. You know what I'm
And
saying?
then
I
the new
remember when that was
leadership
happening. Exactly.
came
And
in, right?
that's another reason why
And that's
The
when
Haitian president
the
got
shot, yeah,
assassinated.
it actually got circulated around Africa after that. But also whenever some leadership spoke against it or didn't want it, all of a sudden they were looked at as, not trying to cooperate with world health,
World
organization.
Health, yep.
Yeah.
WHO, yep. Yep.
So what I was thinking about is why there's always a strife in Congo, because before it was the Great Massacre, right? So they had the Hutsi tribe and the Tutsi tribes that
In
were
1993, I think. Yep.
massacring each other,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe the Catholic Church was behind that one,
Mm-hmm.
as is most of the things in Africa. It is not pointed that way,
Zionist.
but we can definitely go down that rabbit hole. They
Zionist.
come in and they act as if they are giving humanitarian aid after the war has torn everything up. They come in, they hire the people there, they give them jobs, and they build their church.
AKA
And
democracy.
then they end up staying there and acquiring the land. You see,
Mm-hmm.
and that's been done. That's actually how Christianity has been spread around Africa.
Raping the women and giving them diseases. They brought malaria, cholera, every disease that you could think of in Africa, including HIV and AIDS. They brought it out there.
It's always been like the testing field for all of their
COVID
medical
19 too. Bill Gates was out
experiments
there.
and whatnot. Yeah, we got to be
Mm-hmm.
careful with we got to find a clue word, because when we say that,
GG.
they flag us and they shut our channels down and whatnot. So we
We call
still
them big
have to
G.
say the jab and whatnot, the jib jab. The what is it? The juke juice.
The joke.
But yeah, so yeah, that situation. I noticed today how they were going ham with the chemtrails again. I know if you
Mm.
notice, every time they go ham with the chemtrails, it rains within 48 hours. So we finally
Mm.
got some sun today, but I'm sure there'll be some more rain coming because of the spray. Like you can bet money on it once they spray the sky within 24 to 48 hours, we're having rain. Now, mind you, I've been telling people to take precautions and stay out of the rain from it actually having contact with your skin. I guess so. He must be got a call or something. But it actually touching your skin is not good. You know, all of that
Mm.
stuff that they're spraying in the sky when it rains, of course, comes down on your skin. And I have a bird bath that sits in the middle of my yard. And so it's catching this free rainwater. And so you get to
Mm.
look at it and it's totally rust. And wherever there's rust, you know that there's metal.
Corrosion. Yes.
So I've been literally telling people that they gotta continuously detox or take detoxing foods that flush the heavy metals out of you because it's definitely coming through our skin when they spray it, and when it rains it's like, wow, that's a
Mm.
a triple attack when the rain comes down on the people. And it's like a lot of people I'm noticing got this little sniffle, they got this little cough, they got something going on. Everybody's got some sort of medical issue going on. Come on. It's never been
Mm.
like that. People got to
Mm.
think like where these things are popping up. They were just talking about something that's popping up. Oh, because of the rat and mouse situations in places like New York City, the
Mm-hmm.
urine, the
Yeah.
the, the urine from the rats and the mice and everything, and the feces carries bacteria and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
people are starting to get sick from it, you know. And so it's crazy. They're gonna have to figure out that problem there, you know. The rats and roaches, I mean, the rats and mice are bringing back this particular sickness. I forget what it's called, but you know, they'll
That's
try to
restless
create
leaf.
a jab for that instead of clean up the situation. I forget what it's called. I forget what the disease is called, but yeah, it definitely comes from the urine, from the urine and feces of the rats. And you know, New York City is like, so what they're gonna have to do is issue people cans, not regular cans. They got to get the thick plastic cans. That right there is going to cost them the amount of money that they're actually giving people on their little cards. Because in New York, if you're a new person to the area, quote unquote, you get a stifle of $1,400 or something like that a month
Mm.
to use. So hopefully they're using it wisely because they're gonna get it back. That's just, to me, I think that's just a ploy to end up giving them voting rights so that they can win them over that
Mm-hmm.
way by being so accommodative to the immigrant. But yet our Haitian brothers and sisters are being turned away, you know, at the border.
Order. When Trump was in the office,
And
they
they
was being
always
deported
have been. They always had an extra hard time getting in through Florida, to my knowledge.
because they're black. They don't want the black man and black woman to overpopulate America. You know what I'm saying? Because that means we're
But
going to take
why
over the desert.
America has a good number population of Haitians here already, you know,
Honestly, you know what? You know what they fear?
a
They
lot.
fear. They fear the overrising of the black man and the black woman, the black child
I
taking
believe
over.
it's the younger people that they don't want. Those are the working class, cuz like just like the the working class Mexican person. They're bringing their youth over here in droves.
And they
So
terrorizing the
yeah,
people.
they can't
They
fear
terrorizing.
our youth because their youth is they're melanated also. They're no more
And
civilized than our youth. They're
right.
over here getting in all kinds of trouble just like our youth. As a matter of fact, a lot of times they hang together.
They
But
don't fear the
with
uprising
this
of
whole
the Hispanics
separation
or the
thing,
Mexicans.
they hang with their own kind, but they're still doing the same things that the black children are doing. They're out here carjacking, they're out here
Right.
robbing folks, especially in New York City, wherever. And I think that every state has had a great influx of immigrants,
Right.
and they're actually taking the bullshit wherever they go as well. Why is it that the black youth or the black person is always targeted as being the problem? And
They
I'm
so fear
sorry,
of.
but this is an election year, and we're gonna have. Don't think that you're not going to address the black condition here in America, and don't think that November is gonna come up and we haven't addressed that situation. Don't think that that's not going to get addressed, or there's not going to be an election the way they're used to seeing it. It's not happening. As a black American, I hope that all other black Americans are thinking about their leverage that they have right now as being a citizen. You might not
Absolutely.
think that you have any leverage, but you have plenty of leverage, especially right now and moving forward. If what our concerns is not on that ballot, we should not be participating until it is. So things are definitely about to get turned up because they need to be, because we need to come out with some sort of leverage to some of our issues with this freaking election. Just like everybody else, it's big for them, it's big for us too. And we seriously have
Absolutely.
to figure out our demands. And it just is what it is, you know? And I think yeah, you're on mute, brother Rizzy. I couldn't hear you.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. I'm on mute. I didn't want to start talking. Oh, you
Oh,
said.
okay. I thought you were saying a comment.
Oh no, I do have something to say, but let me know when the appropriate time would be.
You're good if you want to tap in now. That's a good
So crazy
segue
that
because
you
I'm
say
saying
all
about
that.
our leverage.
It's so crazy that you say all that stuff because,
Can
like you
you
said, what's
can you
happening
turn
in
your
Haiti?
volume up or come closer a little bit?
Can you
Yeah.
hear me now?
Yeah, that's louder.
It,
Yeah, we
it's
need to
it's
hear you
crazy
better.
that you guys are talking about all that stuff because what's happening in Haiti actually happened in a place called Okui, Florida, back in the 20s, 1920s,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people do not know this. Okui is literally a place right outside Orlando, like not even 10 minutes. Like as you drive out Orlando, you in Okui.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of black people lived there back in the days, and they were voting, and they didn't want them to vote. So they started burning down all their houses and everything, man. People in the house and everything. They don't do it like that anymore, but they still just as aggressive, just different methods. It never changed.
Wow. That's
You know,
incredible.
you can look it up. I found it on YouTube. It's Okui, Florida. A lot of
Yeah, you
black
said
people
that, what's
do
the
not
name
know
of the part of Florida?
Okui.
Oh, Cooey. Okay.
Like if you ever been to Orlando, it's like
Mm-hmm.
literally right in Orlando. It's on one of the main stretches as you driving down I forgot, Colonial Drive. You're driving down Colonial Drive in Orlando, it gonna drive you right into it.
Wow.
And what's so crazy is I went there before at one point in time, but I didn't know the history. But it had an airy aura to it. In places like that, it always got an
Like
aura that
Rosewood.
the ancestors always still living there somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like spirit, yeah. Like Rosewood. Remember the
That's
movie?
another one
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I've actually heard of Rosewood.
I seen a movie based on it.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
You right though. Like
Well,
Coco,
I
you right.
actually had a documentary that gets right to the point, but it shows the condition in Haiti if you were a male and you got arrested. We think that our judicial system is crazy and overcrowded and whatnot, but until you have gone to one of these countries and experienced their system, you would learn to appreciate the one you have. It is very we'll just let it speak for itself. But I was about to get ready and switch it over. Do you guys want to make any last comments before we start the documentary?
I'm probably gonna be able to catch like 10 minutes of it, and I'm gonna have to go because they coming for 8:30 to get me. They coming.
Oh, they coming to pick you up?
But I'm
It's a
glad I
it's
got to catch some of this live, dog. I'm glad I got to catch at least 30 minutes of the live.
We
yes,
coming to get you,
absolutely.
man.
Thanks so much for stopping through. Whenever you can. I know that you have your working schedule, but whenever you can, let me know. There's always a topic that we can discuss.
All right. I got a couple minutes. So I'll
Absolutely.
watch some movie for the time being. I got a couple minutes left.
Okay. Yeah. It's like a quarter after 9 now, but once I are you're on the West Coast, right?
I'm in the Midwest. It's 8:20.
Midwest.
Yeah,
Yeah, where
I'm
you
in
are.
Kansas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So what I was gonna do is, say peace out to you now, but just check it out until you need to tap out, and you can always log out. But we'll start the documentary, and we'll chit chat about it.
Advance,
If you
brother.
get a chance,
Advance, sister.
yes, absolutely. Peace and Black Power. Much
Peace and
love to
black
you.
power. And much love.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be tapping in because we'll have a discussion about this. I'll have the link in there. If you don't get a chance to see much of it tonight, you can check it out whenever you can.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So I'm about to switch over. One. I thought I had the link already there. This is what we're checking out here.
Everything all right with the video? Is the video playing? Where did it go? I can't hear you, Ed. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Florence Elie is the protector of citizens, and it's her job to make sure that the government here looks after its citizens' human rights. I've arranged to meet her at the National Penitentiary, where nearly half of the country's prisoners are locked up. It's home to more than 4,000 inmates. Among them are some of Haiti's most violent convicted murderers, rapists, and kidnappers.
Tu m'accompagnes? Oh, merci. Merci beaucoup.
It's Florence's job to document human rights abuses all over the country.
Bonjour.
But she spends much of her time here because she suspects many of these men shouldn't even be in prison. The prisoners have named this block the Titanic. This place is notorious, and Florence is surrounded by people. They're all desperate to try and tell her their story and get some assistance to get out. Does this happen every time you come in?
Chaque fois. Toutes les fois que je viens ici, c'est la même chose.
The first thing that hits you is the smell. Sweat, feces, urine. That and the barrage of noise. I've only been in here for about 5 minutes. I'm starting to freak out. It's totally crammed full of human bodies and everyone's desperate. They're trying to get water, they're trying to get food, they're trying to stay alive. They're locked up in these cells for 23 hours a day. As we arrive, it's breakfast. And the inmates are collecting their rations. We count 60 prisoners coming out. But inside, I count only 18 beds. The extra men sleep in makeshift hammocks or fight for space on the floor. At 72 years of age, Florence is known as Mammy Flo. For many of these men, she's their only hope. And I keep being handed pieces of paper.
We never judge you.
Okay.
So I got this 6 years ago.
Like me, Florence is bombarded. Some of the prisoners tell me they've been here for 10 years without ever facing a trial. We're getting this really overwhelming sense of responsibility. I've got all these little pieces of paper in my hands, some of them just scribbled on the back of cigarette packets. For some people, this is their only lifeline. This is the only way to explain what's happened to them. The prison guards agreed to let me speak with one of the inmates privately. He says the police grabbed him as he was walking through a market, but he has no idea what the charge is. The 2010 earthquake sparked a mass prison break. Jean escaped along with the other prisoners, but was later rearrested. The law states anyone arrested should be brought before a judge within 48 hours. But in reality, that hardly ever happens. Florence takes me to see the prison governor.
On a un espace de 1200 détenus. On est obligé de garder aujourd'hui 4359 détenus.
That's nearly 400% over capacity.
Il y a environ 529 qui sont condamnés. Et on a 3830 détenus qui sont en détention préventive prolongée.
Mais c'est beaucoup, pourquoi?
Oui, c'est beaucoup.
It's no wonder there's so much desperation among the inmates. 80% of them have never even been convicted.
Aux autorités de la justice qu'il faut questionner sur le nombre des détenus qui sont en détention préventive prolongée.
Oui.
C'est pas à moi de juger les autorités de la justice.
I want to track down a judge, so I'm heading across town to the courthouse, the Palais de Justice. There are more than 3,000 people in the main prison who haven't yet been tried. From what I've managed to find out, the real logjam is happening at the Palais de Justice. 60% of government buildings were destroyed in the earthquake, including the old courthouse. Even though it's now been moved to a new building, the justice system is still struggling to recover. Florence knows most people in this building. If anyone can find a judge, it's her.
Oh. Fermé. Ah, il me semble qu'il n'est pas là.
Non.
Non, il n'est pas là non plus. C'est bon, on peut aller dans une des chambres pour voir s'il y a des procès en cours. On va voir ça. Bonjour, oui. Ils sont...
I'm starting to get a sense of why it's so hard for people to get a trial in Haiti. I've been in here for 10 minutes with Florence. She's knocked on 2 or 3 doors. She's had to walk into a courtroom and she still can't find the judge. Can we find some judges to speak to?
L'année judiciaire.
I'm told that on average, 3 inmates die here every month. I head to the infirmary to see the conditions. The beds are full. There are even people sleeping under the beds.
Il est tous malade ici?
Inmates are given 2 meals a day, but prison gruel is mostly made of flour and water. Those who don't have family to bring them regular meals can quickly become weak and malnourished.
This place is like hell on earth. There are scores of men in there, emaciated, visibly sick, and they've all been crammed into the same room. I'm told that some of their families don't know they're here. Some of them have been there for years. This is where most of the deaths in this prison happen. I'm told that in one weekend, 4 people were taken out of here and rushed to emergency. 3 of them died within days.
Haiti's struggling with a cholera outbreak that was brought into the country after the earthquake. Local doctors and a foreign charity do provide medical care, but diseases like cholera travel fast here.
All the men in the cells all around here are locked in for the majority of the day. They can't even leave to go to the toilet, so they do it in a bag. And when they get tired of having a bag of poo in their cell, they just chuck it out the window because, well, you would, wouldn't you? So the longer I stand here, the more uncomfortable I'm feeling.
Cramped living conditions also help the spread of tuberculosis, which kills scores of prisoners every year.
We're heading into this block of the infirmary, which is where they keep everybody who's got tuberculosis. I'm told there are over 150 people in here. Vous êtes combien ici? Vous êtes combien? 49 ici? Vous prenez des médicaments?
Nous pas jeune somme de prison, stress, nous pas qu'à juger. Bon, on n'a pas ça petite madame famille en bureau, ça rend nous malades.
In many ways, this place is even more desperate than any of the other cells. These guys have to be locked in here because they're contagious. So I'm told there are 49 people locked in this cell. You can see just how angry they are. They can't leave, and they can't be allowed to leave.
They're frightened they might die before they see a judge. Even among the minority of prisoners who have been to court, there are shocking allegations of injustice.
How long have you been in prison for?
Paul Panel was thrown into prison in 2012. He went on trial 3 years later. Paul claims he's waiting for his release form to be handed over, something the court clerk should have done after his trial last year. We don't know if this is true, but the UN lists corruption as a major problem within Haiti's justice system.
He remembers everything to do with his case. He knows his case number, his prison number. He knows the names of the lawyers, the judges, all the people who've tried to get bribes from him. And I feel like with a little bit of investigation, I might actually be able to find out what's going on here.
Florence offers to help me track down Paul's paperwork.
Donc le voilà, Paul Jean Vanel.
Il est déjà jugé au tribunal criminel.
Oh, il a été jugé en août 2015, c'est récent.
Ok, et qu'est-ce qui se passe?
Son chef d'accusation est association de malfaiteurs, complicité de vol à main.
So he was found guilty?
On n'a pas encore l'ordre.
Paul says he was found not guilty, but there's no record of the verdict.
Après la session, le juge s'en va à son bureau, il écrit le jugement. Et c'est un huissier qui apporte l'ordre de jugement. Donc maintenant, il faudra que je sache qui était le juge.
This is like a bad dream.
Jusqu'à présent, ici, on attend
le jugement de libération.
Paul's adamant the judge acquitted him a year ago, but the release form is nowhere to be seen.
Il faut des papiers pour qu'on puisse avoir libéré.
Et une fois que les dossiers sont perdus, eh bien, le pauvre, il est perdu aussi. Tu comprends?
Without the paperwork to back up his claims, or money to pay a bribe, he's condemned to a life in prison.
Ever since I first met Paul, I've kind of wanted these details to not be true, because the implications of all this, the corruption, the incompetence, the downright laziness of it all, is almost too much for me to comprehend. And then going in there and seeing the book and seeing that actually he's telling me the truth. And yet he's been left to rot in here.
Paul's future lies in the courthouse, but on my way there, I run into more problems.
I've just left the prison and I was on my way to the courthouse. I wanted to try and find out what's happening with the cases of some of the men I've met in there. But as you can see, the road's blocked off. There's burning tyres here. There are more down there. I can see a group of people. There's a protest going on. I even heard gunshots a few minutes ago.
There's been infighting in the Justice Department, and the city's chief prosecutor has been transferred.
And they've shut down the courthouse with their protest, which means that any of the men in there who are hoping to get their cases heard today, it's just not going to happen.
I want to put my findings to the Minister of Justice, Camille Edouard Jr. Haiti's had an interim government since February, and the presidential elections are just a couple of weeks away.
Now, when you've got nearly 70% of the people in prison who haven't even seen a judge yet, why don't you force the judges here to work more often and maybe even trained more and employed more to get the job done?
Yo gen totalement autonomie. Moi-même comme ministre justice, moi pas gen autorité de discipline pour me sanctionner.
And when was the last time you actually punished somebody for corruption in this system?
Côté que les difficile pour faire ça les traçabilité. Seulement le non gain évidence.
The National Penitentiary is totally overcrowded. It's 4 times over capacity, and that's a breeding ground for tuberculosis. It seems to me that your failure to provide an efficient justice system is literally leading to people dying in prison. You're literally killing prisoners. How do you respond to that?
Vraiment, son problème nous vient joindre, c'est pas nous qui vient avec lui, c'est défaillant système pendant des années qui baille résultat ça.
After the election, he hopes to tackle the number of pre-trial detainees and halve the prison population. Jacques finally made it to the main courthouse to try and free Harvey and Lexinor, the men accused of murdering a woman who was later found to have died of cholera.
The case that Jacques and his team are getting ready for is known as a habeas corpus. He's essentially trying to argue that his clients have been wrongfully imprisoned. They don't need a hearing, they don't need an investigation, they simply need the judge to agree that there is no case to answer and they need to be freed immediately.
And in order to do that, he needs to get a number of legal officials together in the same room and before a judge.
In the next half hour, these 5 lawyers are going to find out if weeks' worth of work is going to pay off.
It's now in the hands of this judge.
Constater le caractère arbitraire, voire même illégal, de la détention de ces citoyens et de ces citoyennes, voire celui-ci statuer sans délai. Sans délai!
The judge prepares to give his verdict. Jacques managed to win the release of 2 men who between them have spent 10 years in prison for a crime they never committed. It's a small victory.
Congratulations. Good work. Congratulations. Congratulations.
We head back to the prison one last time. The city's preparing for one of the biggest storms in a decade.
Haiti is bracing itself. It's about to get hit by a Category 4 hurricane. This could be the worst natural disaster to hit the country since the earthquake in 2010.
The prison is on lockdown. That evening, Hurricane Matthew slams into southern Haiti, killing more than 1,000 people and leaving 1.4 million in need of aid. The capital's relatively unscathed, but the south of Haiti is plunged into turmoil. The welfare of the country's prisoners will once again be low on the government's list of priorities. 1 month later, Jacques' clients Hervé and Lexinor are yet to be released. There's a dispute about their paperwork. Paul's only hope is to have another trial, but since we left him, he's fallen ill and is now in quarantine. Nearly 4,000 prisoners continue to be held without trial in the National Penitentiary.
In Unreported World, the team is in Madagascar, investigating why young girls are being held in prison without trial for minor crimes. Some are incarcerated for years without their families being told that they're there. Dacian Navanayaga meets these forgotten girls and tries to find out how they might get back their freedom.
Ansarabi Prison, Central Madagascar, Women's Wing. Sahul Rabina Sol has been here a month, but has no trial date. She says she's 17. I'm here because I've heard 80% of under-18s held in Madagascar's prisons have never been to court. Do you have a lawyer? Do you know what a lawyer is? In Madagascar, authorities can hold adults in prison for over 5 years before being brought to trial. Girls like Sahul, who are under 18, can be held for almost 3 years. I mean, she's basically being left here to rot until someone decides to take her case to court, and, God knows when that will be. She lives in this tiny room with 30 other women. Just this bit. Do your parents know where you are? What was life like? All the women have just suddenly come back in, and to be honest, it's quite overwhelming. Many of the girls here are in the same situation as Sahul. Others have already been convicted, some even for murder. And it's really claustrophobic, you can barely breathe. You can just imagine what it's like if you're a young girl and you're turning up here for the first time. It's completely frightening. Sahul was working as a maid for a local doctor when her employer accused her of stealing. The doctor made the accusations after Sahul asked for her wages. Are you scared that you'll never leave here? Many of these girls also worked as maids and are accused of petty crimes. They too have been jailed with no court date in sight. I've heard the story so many times now. So many young girls who go and work as maids and then get accused of stealing something and then banged up in prison, and no court case, no conviction. More than half of Madagascar's prison population have yet to be convicted of any crime. In fact, the number of under-18s held without trial has more than doubled in the last 10 years. It's early morning and I'm back in the prison. I meet up with Funi Rakotanarina, who tries to help young girls like Sahul. She says her parents have no idea that she's been here all this time. How is that possible? She sees how prison time is damaging the girls. What sort of effect has it had on Sahul being here? Funi wants to try and find Sahul's parents, but they live in a remote village. She can't afford to travel there, so we offer to help. Every time I've spoken to her, she's been crying, and now she's smiling so much. Funi gets Sahul to record a video message to show her parents.
Za dada mba mila vonjy aminareo, za nefa tsy nangalatra famifona aminareo. Za tsy nangalatra le izy nefa za na endrikendrik'olona tsy nangalatra le telefonina ary le raha manitra tsisy fantako na hokan'ila mpandraitra izy. Fona dada fa iza tezitra amina. Fony manatria anareo nefa za tsy nanao ale izy nefa vao hity aty aponja. Dia mba mila anareo mamangy dada sy ny.
The next day, we set off with Funi to try to find them. Sahul is pinning her hopes on Funi finding her parents. But Funi warns us they may be hard to track down. Worse still, many parents here disown their children if they're put in jail. 6 hours later, and we're walking because the roads are so bad. Just when we thought we might have to turn back, a bus has suddenly turned up. It's really overcrowded, but they're going to make room for us. Okay. Here. Oh my God. After a few hours, we arrive at Faritzio. Funi's been told it's closest town to Sahul's village. She starts asking around for directions. These men are from the village that Sahul's parents live in. So Funi's just negotiating with them to try and see how we can get there and also how we can find her parents.
Afaka makan tsika. Sao? Andeo avy. Izany io David naty anana apely vato tabory. Dia mba hoe tamo zay. Izy ve tsy eto azy? Ai sy zay. Salama to. Ianao andra Davida? Dadan'i Saoly? Ai sika no irasa. Amin'ny toerana malaladalaka.
That's her dad.
Hipetraka ka toerana malalaka zay. Tavaritsika. Ai zay tondranao anako.
So they've managed to find her dad, which is amazing, but this is almost the hard bit now because we have to tell him where she is and then also find out if he can get to her.
Salamo. Salamo. Mama Saul. Yes, salama to. Tsara zany. Ndao ary tompoko resaka vetivety singa. Dia izany hoe zao dia lazaliza fa sao dia hoe manina. Fa tsisy inona. I Saul zany ao aminay amin'ny fonjana Tsirabe. Ray volana izy izay ny tao raha sazy no mitory anazy. Ie. Dia izay no ampahafantarinay anao. Tsy misy mataitra izany neny tsy mampitombo azy. Amby aloha ianao. Ambiny ianao so mararana ambadika any dia mamenatra olona fa mbi. Tsy vahaolana izany. Eno hoa. Tsy vahaolana izany. Izy tsy mitena hoe eno hoa. Fiainana izany fa en'olo ny mitovy amin'ny zanako ny tondrako any Saoly ao fa samy aisa.
But it's obviously really upsetting for them because they haven't known where she is for the last 6 months.
Za dada mba mila vonjy aminareo na hokanila mpandraitra izy. Fona dada fa iza teritra amina. Fona eo anatria anareo any efa za tsy nanao aleso nefa vohety aty aponza. Dia mba mila anareo mamangy dada sy ny.
Tsisy zavatra atahorana izany fa izy fotsiny hoe izy. Izay zany no tena nandehananay hoe tokony ho fantatry ny ray aman-dreny ilay izy.
Sy niazo ozy aho hoe rehefa amina fotsiny izy dia aleo hiverina.
I'm taken to meet the rest of Sahul's family. These are Sahul's sisters and cousins, and they're saying that they have spent the last few months trying to get in touch with her, but every time they called her employer, they were told that she was sleeping or that the woman was at work and that they would need to call back later. And this whole time, none of them knew where she was. Sahul's sister is confused. She tells me that only last week the doctor had sent them a message asking her to come and work as a maid. Why would the doctor do that if Sahul had stolen from her? Then we discover Sahul's dad David is trying to borrow money for the bus fare to see her. So we offer them a lift. It's the first time Sahul's mum Jacqueline has left her village. And the first time she's been in a car. Madagascar is one of the poorest countries in the world. We travel all night so Jacqueline and David can see their daughter.
The Sahul? Yeah.
Sahul's extended family have heard what's happened to her, and they've travelled overnight to Ansarab, and apparently they've just got here, so they're just about to come in now. The guards are saying that she only has 15 minutes and 10 of those minutes are already gone, so the whole family only have 5 minutes left with her. Outside, Sahul's family reveals some startling news.
Zao ankehitriny zao dia niatso azy tamin'ny telefaonina dia lazainay koa fa mbola mifanatsy io dia lazainy koa Saoly fa lasa mivavaka mandaingana izy zany satria lazany izy hoe ahoana ianao no lazainao ampidianao amponja le zaza nefa ny zaza lazainy fa tsy miditra amponja le zaza.
Okay, all right, let's go. Okay, let's go then. Okay. Sahul's employer lives minutes away from the prison. So that woman who just opened the door is the new Sahul. That's their new maid. The doctor and her mother invite us in. Sahul's dad, David, wants to know why they were never told Sahul was in prison.
Azonao, za tsy dia mba manana resaka betsaka. Fa ny ahy zany teny tsotsotra sady fohy ihany. Fa zay zany ny aly izy tokony tsy nafeninao mamiko mahitsy le zavatra fa tokony vao misy izy misy zao dia fa niteny taminay ianao. Fatatra tsara ngamba mahatanora ny tanora.
Saoly hoe Saoly io alao tenenina ny ray aman-drenina tena moa tena atao izy raha maheno an'izany dadanay mamanay fa aza miteny. Aza mahay miresaka eo ianao dokotera fa zavatra tsy samy mihitsy.
We've been talking to this family for so long that it's now dark and we're having to use torches to carry on the conversation, but they're basically justifying why they put her in prison and saying that they haven't done anything wrong.
Dikan'izay zany dia izao natoky anazy tao an-trano nitondra anazy toy ny reto zanako reto zanako ary
The doctor refuses to drop her allegations. You would know that she can't afford a lawyer, and by not telling her family, by not telling anyone that's related to her who can help her, that she's there, you've denied her any chance of getting out of there.
Dia tsy fantatra noana nety na tsy nety ilay nataonay dia tsy fantatra.
They've said they'll only pay for the work that Sahul's done if her parents now ask for the money, which just seems bonkers. Like, who says we'll only pay you for work you've done if you ask for it? I mean, obviously that's why she went to work for them. David says he refuses to beg for Sahul's wages. Are you going to pay this family for the work their daughter did? Eventually, she hands the money over. It's 120,000 aria, about £25, a fraction of what's needed for a lawyer or a bribe. Human rights groups say bribery is the most common way out of prison for those accused of petty crimes. David and Jacqueline leave no closer to getting Sahul out of jail. I want to ask the government here why girls like Sahul are being put through this. So I'm meeting Rakotandrajeri Randrinasoas Lowy Nortiana, who oversees prison reform in Madagascar. According to international human rights law, no one should be held without trial indefinitely. Why are so many young girls being held in prisons in Madagascar? Some of them are barely more than children for crimes that they haven't even been convicted of yet.
Amin'ny maha olombelona za manokana mihevitra hoe ny olombelona rehetrarehetra na zaza na olon-dehibe dia manana zo ho tsaraina haingana zany. Izay indrindra no iezahanay eto ny ministera fitsarana hoe mandray fepetra hiezaka hanafaingana ny fitsarana.
I've spoken to some people who've told me about how in order to secure their release they've had to pay money to the prison guards. Is that part of Malagasy law process?
lasa tafiditra anatina kolokolotsika zany raha ohatra ka hoe sandaina vola ilay famoahana olona any amin'ny fonja. Dia iny moa efa ady atao mihitsy izay hoe ady atao amin'ny kolokolo izay dia efa miezaka mametraka ny fepetra rehetra zany ny eto anivon'ny ministera fisarana mba hiadiana amin'izay endrika kolikoly mety hisy eny anivon'ny fisarana eny anivon'ny fonja.
Sahul is still in prison. Her family don't have the money to hire a lawyer or pay a bribe. She still has no idea when her case will come to trial. Jacqueline and David now visit her every week.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Yes, crazy how things go in other countries with the rights of children. What's going on with my camera? Hold on. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but hold on. Let me go out and come back in real quick. Yes. Okay. Here we go. You hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So that was interesting on both parts. We saw what was going on with the men in Haiti. They even jail. I'm sure they have another situation for the women in Haiti. They didn't show that. I bet that's another situation as well. How the children are treated in Madagascar, which is located in Africa. I actually know the Catholic Church does a lot of work in Madagascar. A lot. So
the poorest nation in the world.
Yeah, how could it be the poorest nation? That's just incredible. Really incredible.
I'm glad you played that because that's something I did not know. That's something that I learned.
Yes, I didn't know neither, because they're actually a country that's in the fair trade. They have this fair trade situation, but the Catholic Church, once again, is really big in Madagascar as far as they make a lot. The women make a lot of beautiful scarves, and they got like silk that comes from there and all different kind of stuff. Because I used to work with the major gift officers that actually went over there, and every time they would bring me back these beautiful gifts. I have a couple of things. They make beautiful pottery, which is actually more than China. I mean, like China plates and whatnot. They have so many different things that they make over there. It's crazy that how can they be the poorest? Is so they're being exploited for their resources, just like every other country, black country. And as I was watching these documentaries, it kept coming to my mind about on the globe, all of the European countries are in a certain condition. Even they're so-called poor countries, which they don't really have that many, or they try to act like they're not. I heard I heard Europe was poor.
Europe is poor.
You know,
I was stationed out there. They
right?
poor
But
and they dirty.
yes,
They don't
but they're
bathe. They
poor.
musty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
their poor doesn't look like our poor though.
mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of their countries, a few of them are poor, but compared to they want to call our countries when they are poor third world countries, it is crazy how the difference in disparity. And at the end of the day, when you go down the rabbit hole, you always find the Europeans some way, but it's always the leaders of these countries that's selling their own people out. It's crazy.
It's like that in Black America. It's like that in West Africa, where
everywhere.
The leaders are definitely the tribesmen. Excuse me.
It's also like that in white America. Also, they can't trust their leaders either.
In this era, you can't trust nobody. Honestly,
no. Yeah,
you got to be careful when you call somebody a leader. You know what I'm saying? No matter, even if you're in business or if you're in the revolutionary movement, if you're,
it doesn't matter what you're doing.
It doesn't
now.
matter. You have, even in the family, you know what I'm saying? You got to be careful who you call a leader, because
yes,
my example of a leader is somebody who studies leadership first and foremost, but to lead, you must follow. So, and I would prefer, honestly, the best leaders, as far as from my peripheral, comes from the military, because to be in the military, you're gonna be battle tested. You're gonna go through boot camp. You're gonna get cursed at. You're gonna go through certain physical attributes that you have to pass. You have to know how to swim. You have to know how to shoot. You have to know how to jog. You have to know how to run that 1.5 mile within 11 minutes. 55 push-ups, 55 crunches. You know what I'm saying? Might be a little less for the females. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to deal with different conditions. And at the same time, good leaders come from the prisons. Malcolm X, you know what I mean, was a great leader because he studied. He followed first. And then he came home and he led. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of brothers and sisters who are
that's
locked up.
the thing.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
there's a lot
when
of
he
brothers
got the
and sisters when he got the opportunity, he led. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so, and at the same time, leaders supposed to put their lives on the line for their people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If I wouldn't have my comrades or my platoon or sailors or Marines, cadets, or even cell block do anything I wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? I have a little business. So if I hire 2 people to clean toilets and I tell them, yo, clean the toilets and they're shitty, I wouldn't tell them do anything I wouldn't do because I already done it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's leadership. You're showing them what to do by leading by example. And then as your platoon is messing up within the ranks, you don't go blasting them. You know what I'm saying? You don't call them in, you don't call them out, and you don't belittle them. You don't belittle the females, you don't belittle the men. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the black movement, us, we all the fuck we got. And when I say the elders drop the ball, the elders drop the ball. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to the youth, where are they at with the youth? I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people on TV. We could be doing lives and podcasts every day. Every hour on an hour. I'd rather be in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we at in the 757 and the 804. We hitting the community. You know what I mean? And me, you already spoke about that offline. We're going to set up a group economic thing where we can feed the community right where you at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to do it in Philly. We're going to take it to Akron. We're going to do it in Charlotte. We have a list of cities that we have to hit. Why? Because our youth are falling. We're not trying to reach the old heads no more. We're trying to reach the kids. We're trying to turn these young shooters into revolutionaries, these young strippers into revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
The elders dropped the ball, point blank, period. Because I just heard it today. Angela Davis became a feminist. Bobby Seale was the one who led the whites in the Black Panther Party movement. And then you got elders on TV, on live, belittling the black community, belittling black revolutionary movements. You know what I'm saying? Talk about people who ain't activists, people this. Then who are you?
Right.
To me, in my eyes, you a hater. That's what youngest would say you are. You a hater. And what people do to haters, they check them. They handle them. Niggas ain't playing that shit. Niggas could get on TV all day and run their mouth, but I will see you. You know what I'm saying? So all that other shit, I see it every day. Black men belittling black men every day.
Yes, all the time.
All the time. Hey.
And they can also be paid to do it. Now,
and at the end of the day, that's what's starting to be. In my mind frame, they are counter revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying? They see us trying to do things for our community, and we don't want no notoriety or no fame or nothing. We serious about this. You know what I mean?
Right.
When I close my eyes at night, I'm praying for our babies. I'm praying for the missing children. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even look at it from a racial point of view. There's black babies missing, there's white babies missing, there's Hispanics, the Mexicans crossing the border and they're getting their babies taken away from them. But they could come across the border and work. But they don't know they don't know what little Jose or little Pedro at. And you can see it in their face. They're angry. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
they're
like,
definitely being exploited as well. And I hope they start to realize that.
I'm naturally pissed off every day. I might crack a smile, but ain't the damn thing funny. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah.
So it's really sad out here. So I'm glad that we're doing this. I'm very glad. And pay no mind to the haters. You know what I mean? Once upon a time, about 4 months ago, somebody told me, he said, you're gonna develop haters. Coincidentally, he became one of my haters. When he told me that, I knew he was gonna become a hater. That was my intuition was telling me that immediately. So I see that, I hear it. Don't think I don't got elephant ears. You know what I mean? That same person that be hating had a pedophile in his rank, a rapist in his rank. You know what I mean? Called right out.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, me personally had to be a bad guy to do the things I had to do. I have no problem putting that live on TV, whatever, because I ain't for the TV.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I never saw myself doing none of this because what I want to do is continue what we're doing out here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like we could and spread awareness.
It's funny that you say that. It's the second time I heard that today. Personally, that I had a friend tell me that, I was just, venting or whatever. And they were like, yo, T, people be looking at you and hating also. Looking at what you're trying to
it comes
do
with
and
the
just
territory.
Like definitely hating. It's not happening to your face. It ain't many that will say it to your face, but you see it. Little things happen and it's, what it's all about. And, it's a shame because it's a hurtful feeling when you got love for your brothers and sisters and you haven't done anything wrong. There's nothing about any money or anything like that. We're going to talk about this more. Why do we hate on each other so damn much?
It's been like that since the slave fields. It's been like that since the slave fields.
But we're grown people.
Since Cain and
We're
Abel.
grown. I
Since
get
Cain
it.
and
But
Abel.
at some point, we have to shut that down and begin to do things new. Things can't change unless you stop one thing and begin to do another. And I'm seeing that even the leaders are like not 100. You know what I'm saying?
You can't call them leaders.
It's just crazy
like those
how you
self-made
just
titles.
can't.
The community give you your title. The community calls you a leader. You know what I'm saying? The self-proclaimed leaders throughout the movement is self-proclaimed.
It's like just because we need to probably discuss what defines a leader, because it's not always somebody that's at every event and their face is on the scene or they know this one or know that one.
A leader by the people he
leads. A lot more than that. So I've seen leaders that cause contention within their groups as well because they're not perfect. And the thing is, like, I really don't like the concept of leader because we all are leaders.
Right.
We all need to be leaders of ourselves.
Right.
Like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do things proper by you if I don't see that in myself. You know, not like how I treat myself, because most people treat themselves well. I'm talking about how they treat others according to what it is that they do for whatever their title is. Like, say, for instance, a pastor. If you're a pastor, you have no business being caught in any kind of sexual talk with any of your members at all. Like, that's something that should never happen.
That's in the military too. That's in the
Right.
military. That's in the Black Panther movement, all up and down the ranks.
Yes,
shouldn't
there
be like,
are
honestly, that messes up any organization, that messes up any type of business.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
Like, let's
also
say I'm the
causing
CFO.
contention,
Yeah.
between one another.
Keep all that outside.
Like,
Keep all that outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because when you have an organization, you have a strong movement, and you're really serious, you're trying to keep all the flaws and anything that'll break y'all away. The hate.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? The lust, the greed, the envy, the jealousy.
And
you know what
being
I mean?
a
You wanna keep
leader,
all that away.
yeah, you have to recognize in your group who's who.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And from my experience, you know, I have a lot of skills. I'm loyal. You know, I treat people well, this, that, and the other. But in my experience, in the Tanya 23 experience, I have been not treated right, not treated well, you know, and it only adds up to broken relationships. I don't deal with this one. I don't deal with that one. Oh, they do this and that. I can't deal with that one. I get that. But when you're a leader, you don't exactly get to do that, because you're supposed to be able to work with people across the board. You're supposed to be able to see a being, get a scope of that being, and then deal with that being on that being's level. You know what I'm saying? It should never be to the point where the leader has any contention at all. Your name is not supposed to be mentioned in the contention, because you're the leader. And if that's the case, you're not a leader.
Not a leader. Just
You know what
somebody
I'm
running
saying?
their mouth. And at the end of the day,
Right.
that's
And
why
so it comes a time.
that's why I prefer military or brothers and sisters who really went through the trenches, like far as like they went through the prison systems. They had to sit down for weeks and years.
Right.
You know what I mean? And especially the military, because you get trained up. But in both categories, you got bad people coming out of the military. You got bad people coming out of the prisons. You got bad people coming out of corporations. You got bad people coming off the streets. So at the end of the day, like, you learn in the military how to work with different personalities, different races. You know what I'm saying? And in the same way, you learn that in corporate, you learn that in the prisons, and you should learn that in the streets if you have any type of street wisdom. And that develops the mind state of a leader, how to work with people, how to talk with people. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You can't be in business not knowing how to deal with people. You know what I mean? I have white customers. You know what I mean? I have one contract that's a black company. The rest of them white. When they see me, they don't see no white man. They don't see no coon. You know what I'm saying? They see me present. I don't say back, hey, black power, white man. I don't be on that shit with them. But at the end of the day, they know who the fuck I am when I walk through that door.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you mean, what would that look like?
Sometimes I have my headphones on. Sometimes I'm smelling like fresh butter oil. Sometimes I'm smelling like straight work from the shipyard. Sometimes I'm smelling like loud pack. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at the end of the day, I'm coming in as I am, and I'm handling my business with them. I politic and talk with them a little bit. One dude was talking to me about TikTok videos and certain Illuminati things he's seen up there. I was surprised. I said, you know what? I'm glad America is seeing what's going on. That's why I'm glad for TikTok. Like, remember you had talked about they wanted to ban TikTok?
Yeah.
TikTok is exploiting everything. They deeper in the deep state. They the rabbit hole for real. You know what I mean? And Chinese owns TikTok. So Chinese, they like, hey, We're gonna put out everything.
And the thing is,
you know what I mean?
I don't see the big deal of them talking about it's a threat to our security with our private information, because all the other social to do anything, you have to give your personal information. You can't even sign up on any kind of website now.
Everything is
Or,
already
without,
sold.
yeah,
We
like
have
come
no
on.
proper security in America.
I dare
There's
somebody
no
out there to
intel.
try to be me. Please be me out there. Take over my credit and all of that. You
Nah,
want to
don't
be
say
me,
that.
you
Don't
know?
say that.
No,
Don't say that.
I
Don't say
look,
that.
I tell you, I have the experience to say if anybody out there is trying to be me and doing anything with the credit and whatnot, you'd actually be doing me a favor, because I do have the experience of you'd be wiping me, giving me a new slate. You'd be wiping my record clean at the end of the day, because hey, once your identity gets stolen, you're not responsible for anything. So at the end of the day, but see, that's the loophole that they don't like to say. What does a poor person have to lose by someone impersonating them? Hold on one second. Let me grab a tissue. What, if you think about it, what does a poor person have to lose by somebody? Actually, they would be doing them a favor at the end of the day. Your whole slate gets wiped clean, pretty much, when that happens. You know, it's like the rich are like, or the ones that are out there so full in debt, they're like, please steal my identity. They try to pay somebody to steal their identity. Because what is it really? You know, if you're going to steal my identity, you better be around here to pay these bills rolling around come the first of the month. Stealing my identity comes with a lot of it. Look, they be like, nah, I got to get this back. They be looking for me to give me my identity back. Too funny. But yeah, like legally, but like paperwork wise, what are they gonna go out and get a Maserati on me? Buy some land or whatever? like if I had that type of situation ready, perhaps I'd be worried. But at this point, hey.
The only thing they could try to do is commit crimes. That's it.
But see, that's the good thing about it, because if they commit a crime and try to say it's, you know, they still can't use that person's identity, because at the end of the day, there is to go by your fingerprints.
Yeah.
And none of us have the same prints. Now, say somebody, this is a good example, and people out here should know this. So this is a good one. So say you lose your wallet and you had your ID and all of that stuff. This is a good one. So you got your social security card, your ID, and all that stuff is out there, right? But you're a person that doesn't have anything. Let's just say you're a poor person. So now somebody finds your ID. Let's see, what are they going to get with it? Let me go apply for food stamps. No one's going to get your ID and say, let me go apply for food stamps, because they don't know if you're a poor person or not. And at that point, they would get caught impersonating someone else. Like it's so, like, what matters they cannot do in your name. Like, you know,
I mean, myself, I want me a few fake passports. I want me a few fake passports and identifications myself.
But see, you gotta buy those.
Yeah, like,
know what I'm saying? And most likely it's not your face.
Dreads,
you know, yeah.
With some glasses on so I can fly out. I want different identities. No lie, like my face too easy to trace. It's not the most.
I want a
passport
that says.
They'd be like, I know him. I don't want that. I don't want that identity. You know what I'm saying? Like I know a few people on this earth, and they be like, hey, you remember me from Italy? Like, nah, I don't, man.
Oh, there's some people
from Philly. Nah.
Oh, you've been done. Look, they've been got the wrong person, like to steal somebody's identity, and somebody looking for that person to murder them any darn way. Now, could you imagine?
Don't even call me right here.
Get that identity back. Yeah, there's not much. There's not much to gain by doing that. you know. But yeah, I was thinking of a funny joke. There was oh yeah, I said like people like P. Diddy is dying to get his. I wish somebody had his identity now.
I don't want shit.
He
We
want to
don't
get
want
his
his
identity
identity.
stolen right about now.
Shit.
No matter where you go, we know who you are, buddy.
Yeah. They don't want to be around him, dancing with him. I ain't shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. But the whole situation, the Haitian situation, might get a little worse before it gets better. Because first of all, I think their prime minister just resigned.
Yeah.
Their newest prime minister just resigned a couple days ago.
Under pressure. Yep. By the
the gang guy. What's his name?
Yeah,
Watermelon or something. Wait, what's his name?
Nah, it ain't watermelon, man.
Monster. It's something wild. I was like, what?
Nah,
man. What the
he's
heck
doing a
is
good
his
job.
barbecue.
Yeah.
I said, what
Brother
the heck?
Barbecue. They call him General Barbecue. Now look, with him, I would say with him, he's a good leader. You know why? Because he refused to accept imperialism and the white supremacists to continue to run Haiti. He's like, we want our own government. We want our own establishment. And he's not afraid of fucking guns. He's not afraid of weapons. How the fuck you gonna take over anything? How you gonna go against your enemies and oppressors without weapons? I don't give a fuck if you had a knife or if you had mace. You better fight.
Yeah, you gotta have something.
You know what I'm saying?
Something more.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How Nat Turner took over the slave lands without weapons? You know what I'm saying?
That wouldn't have happened, right?
Now I truly understand it's not good to run around here telling everybody all the guns you have, but you want to let motherfuckers know you're not the one. And your people you leading are not the ones to fuck with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We could be having a 5 people meeting.
Because number one, you're not a leader if you don't have some sort of like that goes along with leading. How are you going to protect your flock or whoever you're leading?
Right.
That goes along with it
you
as
was
well.
Walking down the street, guaranteed you're
not really even physical protection, right?
Facts. Like you got children. How you protect your children? You know what I'm saying? You want to teach? We want to teach our kids how to shoot and hunt, bow and arrow. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone else does. Why not?
You know what I mean?
Everyone else does. And if you have the land, the equipment,
physical health and physical education, you want the ladies to be able to run at least a half a mile. At least a half a mile, depends on the age bracket. You know what I'm saying?
tell you what, we need to know how to do whatever you need a license to do. Because it's like all the good license.
A lot of planes, the helicopters. We want to do everything too.
Do you know if there are any black women pilots?
There are black women.
I have never seen any
in the military as well, in the Air Force as well, and there's black women pilots in Nigeria too. You'll be surprised of how black empowerment is rampant in Africa. We have black currency. We have black banks. We have black businesses. We have black everything.
Everything.
The only problem only thing we have going against us is white imperialism throughout Europe and America, and the Chinese trying to take over. And you got the Russians out there. You got Ukrainians out there.
Yes.
You know
what I'm getting ready to say is, what was it, yesterday or the day before yesterday? Kenya was doing something. What was it? Kenya was involved in something, but all of their leaders got killed in a helicopter crash. It was 8 or 9 of them. All of the top leadership in Kenya
they do that.
died
They
2 days ago in a helicopter crash. But I forget what is it they was over there doing. Was it something with Israel or I forget exactly what they were doing, but they wiped out all their leadership.
They did that to this Nigerian billionaire who was going to the Super Bowl. Him and his family died in the helicopter crash. And every time I think of a helicopter crash, I think of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Kobe Bean Bryant, North Philadelphia, one of the greatest basketball players ever. And what he did, he was part of the elite. He's part of them. But once he retired from the NBA, he made one tweet. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton deserves to be in prison. And the reason why he said that, because one of his stockbrokers was Jewish. Well, jewelry. I call them jewelry. Pardon me. I call them who they are, the imposters.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
He had one of those stockbrokers who was part of the Clinton regime with him, making a lot of money, made billions. And then in India, a billionaire in India was trying to use Kobe Bryant Mamba name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard about that.
The pharmaceutical company was making a lot of money off of human ingrown. You know what I'm saying? And so basically, like, if you get injured, you get human ingrown to your injury and you'll be healed quickly. Or they use and they was using the perks and the zanies. The Indians they made a lot of money off of that the pharmaceutical industry. So Kobe was taking them to court. He took them on trial
for the Black Mamba name.
For the Black Mamba name, the man was facing 5 years in prison. Right before the trial ended, Kobe Bryant died in that helicopter crash. And so that's the example of what white imperialism will do. They don't care who you with. They'll take out your whole family just to get to you. You know what I'm saying? So like you mentioned, the brother, the people in not Nigeria, you said Kenya, right? When they died in the helicopter crash, Kenya. They would take out the whole tribe. You know
so do you think that the pharmaceutical companies are responsible for Kobe Bryant's death?
I'm 98% sure that the pharmaceutical companies took out Kobe, but I also know Kobe was making enemies within white supremacy, white imperialism. He said Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton need to go to jail. And then if you think about it, the day Kobe Bryant died, LeBron James was breaking his record, and guess who was in attendance?
That too.
They was in Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying, at Wells Fargo Stadium. Guess who was in attendance of all the games? Broken ass Bill Clinton, Billy was right there shaking his hand, happy that he breaking Kobe Bryant record. Why was he happy that he broke Kobe Bryant record? Because Kobe Bryant put his ass on blast 2 years ago. You know what I mean? And that's just what it was.
Wow. I didn't hear that he went. He was there that day.
Kobe was about to become one of the most powerful black millionaires, knocking on billionaires. They love LeBron. Yeah. They love LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron got the GOAT.
Yeah, because he don't do nothing. He don't do anything for his people at all.
He was part of.
I ain't seen nothing he did.
I ain't saying Kobe Bryant was, but his political stance and the way he was moving, he could have ran for president. We see what Kanye did. There's several other black athletes who got the money to go run for political office. They might not have the political education, which I would say they need to go get political science before they do anything. You know what I'm saying? Take 4 years or take 2 years of political science, then run for political office. But right now we have some by any means shit. I'd rather have black Republicans and black Democrats running our government and running our America than what we have right now. Like you mentioned earlier, now we got to choose between the lesser of two evils. Fuck both them evils. Right. Joe Biden is a real live pedo. We see that. Donald Trump had all them white boys, Proud Boys, Nazis running through Charlottesville right up into D.C. Where was the elders at? I ain't seen no white boys get smacked. So at the end of the day, like, we cannot let this happen again. So what we doing is organizing. We getting everybody ready. They want to vote for Donald Trump in. They want to bring them boys back in. We gonna be ready for them this time. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
It's not gonna happen.
Like I'm saying, I think that us as voters or whatever, we need to leverage that side as well, because we're not letting them get away with not paying up. Yeah. There's many that feel just like me. Like I don't
Kanye
care.
West. I'd rather see
Definitely
Kanye
not
West
getting
or
away.
Cornel West. I'd rather see Kanye West or Cornel West.
Was he running? Was he trying to run Cornel West?
Kanye West was trying to run before. Cornel West had a buzz, and they always say he's a coon, he's this. Man, listen, give me a coon over a cracker any day. We could work with a coon. We had Obama for eight years. He's half black, half white. What did he do for the black community? Only thing Obama did was motivate us. Like, yeah, we can. You could be president. If I can be president, you can be president. I might not do anything
So
for
yes,
y'all.
we can get
Yes,
somebody
we
else.
can. That's what he motivated us to do. He brought a lot of black
Too
people to
funny.
the White House. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So he opened up the door halfway with his white skin. You know what I mean? And slid in there with his other half. You know
And
what I'm
helped
saying?
his other buddies out.
Now we
Yeah,
gotta
he
knock
definitely.
that motherfucker door in. Because we built the White House. Why not? Benjamin Bannon could
Yeah.
design the whole DC. DC is a G. You know
You
what
see
I'm
how
saying?
they keep on pressing the issue about getting all of the people, literally all the people that went there for the so-called insurrection. They got arrested.
Yeah, that
They
was a setup.
actually, that's when
That was a
all
major
of their
setup.
forensics worked for them,
Now, granted, from
finding people, facial recognition. Yeah.
political standpoint, they did rob Trump of the elections. I was wide awoke when the elections
They
was going
absolutely
on.
did. We watched the whole thing.
They
They
stole that
absolutely
shit.
did.
And that was
Yeah,
a
absolutely
deep
had their hand.
psyop that was done by Mossad
Hello.
intelligence and
Yeah.
artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, Mossad intelligence, and those three letters, CIA.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they did. They got it, and it was the Dominion Dominion voting systems. That's what it was called. They hacked
Oh yeah,
into
they were.
that shit.
Remember at that time, also there conveniently was this huge problem with the United States Postal Service.
Yeah,
Remember that?
They had
That is
dead,
what
they had
happened.
dead
They
veterans.
was finding
Yup.
garbage bags full of
Absentee
election mail
ballots.
on the
Yeah.
side of the road, all in ditches and whatnot, and it was crazy.
They pulled a
And it
by any
wasn't
means
guaranteed
tactic.
when you mail something, it was going to get where it was going, and it wasn't
Yup.
no guarantee that you would receive your mail. But even still, now they're hiring a bunch of. I see it happening. It's going to happen again with these ballots, but they're hiring a bunch of incompetent people that can't read basic street addresses, and the mail is starting to get messed up again anyway. So we'll see. It's going to
We'll
ramp
see.
up. You'll see
It's
a
gonna
big
be a
issue with
show,
the
but it
mail.
got nothing to do
Yep.
with the black community. That when they
Right.
raided the White House, it had nothing to do with us.
Nothing.
You
We
know what I'm saying?
actually sat home and
Nothing.
watched it.
Well, that shit was the funniest. That was the funniest. Listen, and at
It
the end of the
did
day,
not look as
only
violent and whatnot as they were trying to. It was more like, yeah, it just didn't seem like as threatening as they made it. You know what I'm saying?
it was
Still, we
entertaining.
need to know who brought the cocaine in the White House. They still ain't figured that out. Who did that? That's
Joe
what I
Biden's
want to
son.
know.
What's that dude name? What's Joe Biden's son?
Oh, darn, his
Somebody
son,
dropped him off at
the
eight
one
ball.
that's on trial. What the heck
Somebody
is
dropped
his
him off at eight
name?
ball.
Hey Siri, what's Joe
Yo, he
Biden's
got
son's
gun
name?
charges.
on
He
trial?
has gun charges. Do you hear me? He has gun charges. And he's
Siri
still
doesn't
not
even know.
I'm like, yo, how you the vice? He's vice president's son at the time. How you catching gun charges? Everything's supposed to be. You got CIA protecting you if that's the case. What you need a gun for? Because he was on that shit. You know what I'm saying? He's worried like
Yeah,
he's on
Hunter.
that shit.
Yeah, his
Hunter.
name is Hunter
Yeah, Hunter
Biden. Yeah.
Biden.
I took the time. I actually streamed it, but I deleted it because they won't monetize it. So I deleted it off the channel. But I streamed the trials the other day. They didn't say nothing to nobody, but it was on Friday, the whole time where everybody's in school at work.
Yeah.
And it was done by 4 p.m.
Which trials you stream? Hunter's or Trump?
It was Hunter. It was the Biden impeachment trials. It's still going on, but yeah.
Quiet as
So
kept
they
because they
had
got Trump on
all of
TV
this
all day.
evidence. Listen, they had all of this evidence of him, being guilty or whatever.
Yeah.
He definitely profited and was actually telling Hunter what to do with the business deals and whatnot. And this is what they was doing. Hunter would go in and pitch his pitch with them for whatever business deal or whatever. And Biden will come and show his face and shake hands with them and whatnot, and then say, yeah, look out for my son.
He'll do
So
something like this.
he's the vice president. Yeah, he's the vice president at the time. So of course,
Give him a
because of the
nod.
association, right? They're gonna set up business deals with him. So they were saying directly, they were showing how Hunter was getting all these millions wired to him, and he's sending it right to his father. The straight
He's
pimp game.
ex-military with a dishonorable discharge. He got kicked out.
Hunter?
Hunter Biden is ex-Navy, kicked out the military on dope. Dishonorable discharge.
What?
He has a government. Hey, check it. He has a government security clearance. You cannot get a government security clearance with a dishonorable discharge. And then at the same time, do you know the strenuous things you have to go through just to get a government security clearance? Mine's expired. When they came to question me, I was 18 and a half. I was overseas in Italy. They questioned me about everything I did as a youth. Why was you and your friends selling drugs? Why did you get locked up? Did you know this person? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yo, how the fuck did y'all know all this shit? You know what I'm saying?
They ran your record.
They gave me my security clearance, right? And that was my first time ever knowing about a security clearance. So I'm looking at Hunter Biden. He got dishonorable discharge out of the Navy. He ain't even finished a year in the Navy, but he's overseas making millions of dollars as a government contractor.
Right.
For his
How
father.
does he go into China and all of that?
And then he having sex with underage girls at the same time, videotaping them smoking meth. You know what I mean?
They were setting up these LLC companies.
Yeah,
they were setting up these shell companies, and they were like, okay, where's the business? Where's the the money? Where's the work
they got
ethic?
Donald Trump on trial for hush money for paying off a prostitute. That's
exactly.
Now, the thing they didn't need to have Donald Trump on trial for is when he was in Mar-a-Lago and he had the Australian president and he said, I'm not supposed to be showing y'all this, but he's showing them some top secret documents. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They said that might have been artificial intelligence. That might have not been Trump. So if they ain't have him on camera doing that, then they can't prove it. But it makes sense that Donald Trump would do some shit like that because they ran him up out the White House. You know what I mean? They rigged the hell up out of that because he was doing one thing that I'll give the Donnie boy. He was draining the motherfucking swamp. From Epstein,
yes, he was,
to Weinstein. He kept his.
All of a sudden, we had a doggone pandemic and this and that. All of that stuff came to play. All of that stuff came to play to knock him off his game.
He called out Fauci right live on TV. I remember like it was.
Oh man, them two. I can't stand Fauci.
He pointed at him. He said the deep state, and Fauci face turned purple. That shit was live. You know what I'm saying? And he kept his foot on Hillary Clinton's neck from the elections to the last minute.
And
if he this minute.
If only he didn't say stupid stuff like,
I'll put you in jail. You ain't hear nobody ever.
Listen, nobody ever said that. But check this out. If only he didn't say stupid stuff like,
you feel me? Like he really kept his foot.
Shoot yourself up with Clorox bleach and whatnot. Like, if only he didn't say stupid stuff like that. But I understood what he was saying.
He retarded like that. You know what
I'm saying?
Rather
than take this jab, he was saying you'd be better off shooting yourself up with he told people.
Yo, and then another thing, he's a cold Gemini. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize. Remember how we talked about the Zodiacs the other day? You know, Brother Rizzy, I be listening, but I'm not too familiar with the Geminis. I just know people's personalities. I'm like, oh yeah, I know yours. I know who you are. You know what I mean? But Donald Trump, he's a Gemini.
He's a Gemini.
You see him on TV falling asleep doing trial. You know what I'm saying? He could give two shits. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, in my conspiracy mind frame, I'm like, is this a ritual he's going through? Did he accept the initiation now?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because
it's absolutely. What does he call it? It's exactly what he calls it, a witch hunt.
A witch hunt.
That's exactly what he calls it.
A witch hunt. You know what I mean? Because at first it was a real witch
I think
hunt.
he has a group of, just like they all should, but I don't blame him. And I think that's the way to go. I think he has a group of women that are spiritualists, psychics, that you know, work in that. They might work in the Nordic
I'm hoping that
magic or
he
whatever,
doesn't
but
attract.
I'm pretty sure he has a group of women that he works with as far as his
9 times out of
protection and
10,
whatnot.
he's gonna be the president, but there's gonna be some forces, not us.
Something's gonna happen, yeah.
They gonna try to blow up the whole fucking America if he wins.
Yeah, the whole
You know what I
world
mean?
now. They're
And
trying
if
to
he
tie up
doesn't
everything.
win,
Listen, because they know he's coming.
Yeah.
Because they know he's coming. He's coming through all of that shit they're setting up for him. And
Yeah.
what they're trying to do is get the world in such a state for him to come back in and have to deal with it. Like, you know, they're trying to make it so.
And if he doesn't win,
Biden, like,
they're gonna raid that shit again.
His whole family is actually involved in this corruption scheme per the trials.
He got a brother.
His brother's wife,
Jill
his
Biden.
wife. Yeah,
Jill
they
Biden's
always
the
try not to talk about, they always try not to mention Jill Biden.
Yeah,
But
she's
she
the handler.
is one of the main masterminds behind it. She's what,
And
a
what
doctor
happened
or
to
something
Bo
like
Biden?
that?
They took Bo Biden out.
They
because he knew too much.
both was working with cancer. His Jill had skin cancer, and so did Biden. They both been working through and have been cured of their cancers while they're working.
You know who put Joe
2023,
Biden on in the 70s?
they both was cured of their skin cancer.
Robert Byrd, a senator out of West Virginia, is the one who basically campaigned for Joe Biden and kept him in Congress throughout all those years. And when Robert Byrd died, guess who went to his funeral? Joe Biden and damn Barack Hussein Obama. And Robert Byrd was a prime member of the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
They went to his funeral. Yeah, I think I remember that. What year was that in? I'm gonna Google it.
That was during Obama's tenure as 8-year president.
Yeah, his
You know what I'm
second
saying?
term.
I think it was during the second term.
Where they was just outright doing crazy shit. That's when he did something about, claimed he ordered all these hot dogs for the White House or whatever.
They had pizza parties where they was eating kids. Pizzagate was right there in front of DC.
And I literally saw a picture of Obama with my own eyes, the way he was sitting with this little Chinese girl, and it was a very suspect, very pedo looking, very suspect. Matter of fact, they said the little girl ended up getting killed or missing or some shit like that.
Wow. See, I
heard
know.
picture.
I heard
He was in the picture
Obama
with the girl.
I heard Obama hitting the lines.
Like I said, allegedly what I heard.
Yeah,
you know?
I heard Obama allegedly hitting the lines and doing that other shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's in a book. That's in a book.
Yeah. And see, I ain't
From
know
his
that
college
when I
days
voted
when
for
he
him.
was a senator.
I was naive when I voted for Barack Obama.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was still in the
And
Navy.
somebody has
I was
to
happy
prove
we
to
was
me.
having a black president. You know when you're walking on a naval ship or any military facility, they have the chain of command of America up there.
Right.
You feel proud to see Barack Obama up there. That's a black man. You damn right I'm coming to work today. I mean, we had to say permission to come on board in the Navy on the ship. Permission to come on board.
Wow.
You proud to say that shit. Now I feel bad for the brothers who gotta say permission to come on board to Joe Biden. And then turn around and look at Trump fat face, who has no military experience, no leadership experience. His father gave him his money. His father gave him those businesses. You know what I'm saying? He is inherited. I ain't knocking that. You want your children to eat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, for him to be president, he became president off of popularity and the dirt he had on the politicians. I give him that. You know what I mean? Drain the motherfucking swamp. You know what I'm saying?
His father was he was a prominent real estate person, his father.
You know what I mean? Trump
and he
Towers,
bought like
that shit dope. That's power. You know what I mean? Like we want our own towers. Everybody loving Trump. They got the Trump hats, the Trump shoes. They ain't looking at like how he did it. Let me take notes on how his father did it. You know what I'm saying?
His father created most of the rules and whatnot that we have today that governs real estate. He was like the very first broker in America.
Racist
His
as
father.
fuck.
So,
His
well,
father was part of the Ku Klux Klan too. His
he
father
was?
used to go to the meetings. That's why when I be hearing these brothers and these
But his
elders say,
father
y'all
was
ain't
the
gonna
one
vote
that
for him.
had. His father was the one that had black blood in him. Something like that.
I ain't hear
Because
that part.
there's a certain, you can only become president. All of them are related. Remember?
Yeah.
All of
All
the
related.
presidents have something
Yeah.
that the where they're related. So
Yeah.
here comes Trump now.
Barack
So
Obama's father was a friend of George Bush family, real close with
how
them.
does Trump, where is his bloodline relation to the rest of the presidents? I forget what
That's a
it
good
is, but I
question.
believe it's a cousin.
They say he has no bloodline
But he has to
connection
be.
with him.
You sure? I
That's
thought
what
they
they
had
say.
to.
That's what they say. We
Mm-hmm.
gonna. I think
Well,
this
that's something we can
initiation
research.
ritual, this trial he's going through right now, I believe it's more of a ritual because they got the hush money ritual. Because they ain't shit. That shit he was doing when he's trying to sell the secrets in Mar-a-Lago, they had all them documents in Mar-a-Lago. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know Mar-a-Lago was a hotel resort. I thought it was his house. Mar-a-Lago is a hotel resort. You cannot have top classified secrets in the hotel resort. You know what I'm saying? Like you leave
Listen,
any
he
type
is
of office.
writing off all of that.
You leave any type of office. Let's say I'm the captain of. Let's say I work at the Pentagon, right? And I'm the 5-star admiral of the Pentagon. When the chain of command is doing a dismissal, it's a change of command. The paperwork that I've signed off, the copies, the paperwork, everything, the missions, the top secret missions, that could come with me. But it has to be in a secure place. My kids can't get to it. My staff can't get to it. My housekeepers can't get to it. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? Somebody could try to sell it off. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, why is those top classified secrets at Mar-a-Lago?
Why do they allow them to take them out of the White House anyway? That's just some shit they did that so they could break the rules. But it don't make sense.
He was bitter and upset, so he became a traitor to America. Donald Trump is not a patriot. You know what I'm saying? He's not somebody who loves America. Like, let's be honest. I've been across this globe. It's nothing like going into a Walmart. It's not like the freedom that we do have that we still need more. It's not like
exactly.
America.
It's
You know
nothing
what I'm
like
saying?
being,
We built
I
America.
know.
We built America. We ain't going nowhere. When I
That's
hear
right.
brothers and sisters saying they want to go back to Africa, I've been there. I love Africa. You better have your money right. And at the same time, we got unfinished business out here. Until we own this land and we free this land, we can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So
Me
that's
either.
what
I ain't going nowhere.
that's the thing. Like, we can't go nowhere. So with Trump, we're gonna see. It's gonna be an entertainment show, and it's not all war. You know what I mean? Our job is, if he get elected or selected, is to put 20 more black faces in after him. That's what we failed at after Obama. We had our first gay president, if that's the case. Even though I think all of them was gay. You know what I'm saying? Barack Obama, he did his job. He opened up the door for us. Now I can tell my son and daughters, nephews, nieces, y'all could be president too. Yes, the hell we can. But y'all ain't got to do it like him. You know what I mean?
Exactly. He was pressured. He knew what he needed to do. He had his agenda, and that's exactly what he did. But the thing is, they all did $1 million business deals while they were holding offices, and none of them are supposed to do that. Anything, because what they're holding the impeachment trials for now is what Biden did while he was vice president. But while he was vice president, Obama was president. So while they're trying to say that he did all of this stuff, he also couldn't do it without the help of the actual president. A lot of the deals that he was doing with his son Hunter, Obama had some dough mixed up in that too.
Biden
You know
don't
what I'm
care.
saying? Yeah,
He
he
fall
had money
asleep.
mixed up in like it's mad corny. Yeah, but that's the thing when you get caught or the heat gets on you, you're not supposed to bring the heat to anyone else. You know,
I think
crazy.
Biden is like the fall guy right now. They're making Biden the fall guy for
Who, his wife?
Somebody, I think Obama, Hillary Clinton, from all that.
They're
They
using
like
him as the make the fall guy
he's the
because he's
puppet.
going to Iran and he's talking shit with Iran and he's going to Israel and he's talking shit with them and he's running back and forth and he's kind of like instigating the war instead of trying to get a ceasefire permanently. You know what I'm saying? I think the most effective thing has actually been the children at the universities. If I'm not mistaken, they still on the protests, even though it's a weekend. We'll see come tomorrow, but they canceled a lot of commencement.
I don't blame them because they blew up a hospital in Palestine.
That's
like,
that
yo,
shit
war is
crazy.
war.
That's a couple
Understand that
times
war
they
is
did
war.
that.
But you blow a
Why do
hospital
the
up?
chosen? Why would the chosen people need to be doing that? Who gives them the right to literally they go through the issues about what happened in the Holocaust, but you're literally sitting here exterminating another people. Like, where does that make sense? Y'all the Holocaust, but you sitting here
What
and you
we went
expect
through
the
was a
rest of the world
Holocaust.
to watch you Holocaust another people. I'm just talking about the rationality of it, because
They did
everybody
the same thing in
knows
South
that.
Africa. In
Yeah.
1875, they massacred us. That was the first Holocaust according from the
Yes.
German exterminations. That was the first Holocaust.
Recorded.
But I don't hear nobody in Israel talking about that. And I forgot the name. It's King Leopold or something. Bitch ass motherfucker. He massacred hundreds and thousands of black men, women, and children.
Leopold.
Leopold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
he did. It was like hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
How in the world was he able to kill that many people? I mean,
Because
that had
we
to be a
didn't have
bloodbath
guns.
from
We
beginning
didn't
to
have
end.
weapons. They marched right on the land with their guns and said, y'all can't do nothing about it. What y'all gonna do? You know what I mean? That's the only weapons we had. So now that's why I say they got C4 nuclear weapons and drones flying throughout our communities.
Yeah.
They got chemtrails.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got injections where they can hit you at any moment. They got all types of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And all of them are of mass destruction.
Mass
bullshit
destruction.
he got on TV and said, I never forget that when he said that shit on TV. I was like, this corny motherfucker. It was just so corny. Weapons of mass destruction. When Bush Jr. got on TV and said that time, weapons of mass destruction, and he been killing mofos.
Mass destruction. Won't no weapons of mass destruction. Won't no
Didn't
weapons of mass
find
destruction. Iraq, Afghanistan, Saddam Hussein ain't have nothing. He died honestly. Saddam Hussein, he was a noble
on
guy.
kidney dialysis.
He was a noble guy.
I
They
heard
murdered
it.
him for no reason. You know what I'm saying? You know why they wanted Iraq? Because of the oil. You know what I mean?
His son. They
I was
killed
on
his
the
son too,
destroyer.
right?
They killed his son. They killed all his sons. I was on the USS Berkeley. It was a destroyer, right? We was in the Persian Gulf. I'd never touched the land of the Persian Gulf, but our ship launched some missiles out there, right? I ain't had nothing to do with it. I'm in the skin of the ship. I'm in supply. So I don't even load up the weapons. You know what I mean? I just, whatever supplies you needed, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But when I stepped outside, I opened up the cubby hole and just to get some air, because you could go out there and smoke a cigarette, right? So I went out there to smoke that just to see what was going on. Nothing but oil refineries around me. That was the weapons of mass destruction that Saddam Hussein owned. The oil. They didn't want him having that because that would have made him multi-billionaire. That would have made Iraq powerful.
Those oil refineries.
You know what I'm saying? That would have took his power to another level, and he would have been like, "Yo, look, I set the prices."
Yes.
You know what I mean? Y'all coming to buy oil from me and my land or my peoples, I set the prices. And they looked at Saddam, they said, well, we could take him out. We can't take out the president of Syria or Iran, but we could get Saddam Hussein. We can't go to Saudi Arabia and take out the king.
Yo, out of all,
but it's bound.
yes,
It's
and
bound
see, they sitting over there too in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, but the thing is, it's just crazy how they think that when they can't have something, or when someone else's region has a resource that they have to buy, which they do not have to do any negotiations with anybody globally for oil, because as Trump proved, we have a lifetime unlimited amount of oil right there in Texas, and we was tapping in. It was bringing in mad riches, mad jobs. People was making hundreds of thousands of dollars out there, and all the different states could go to Texas and get work. The truck drivers was booming. Just everything in America was booming. The price of gas was down to like $1 and some change again. The last couple years that Trump was in, remember?
Yeah,
we had completely gotten off of oil. Listen, we had completely gotten off of buying any oil from the Middle East. We had shut them down. We wasn't buying any more oil from them. Soon as the Biden administration come down, they shut down all that shit in Texas. Like, those refineries aren't operating the way they was when Trump was in. I don't know what the reason was. I think it was some environmental reason or something, what they said why they couldn't get no more oil from over there, wherever. It was just ridiculous. But we have a lifetime supply amount of oil in Texas. We do not need to get anything from anybody. You know? And they trying to move. Yeah, they trying to move towards clean energy anyway. After a while, we ain't gonna need oil. You know, it's gonna take a long time, but you know, they trying to move away from even using oil. So why is it that we have to have these billion-dollar negotiations and be under the, you know, the guise of Saudi Arabia? When they decide to go up $1 on their prices, it screws everybody over here. It's crazy. And when we don't, the price of oil for home heating oil was only like $1 a gallon. And every tank is like 275 gallons. So that's like $300 right off the top. Imagine when gas is $1.50. It goes up to like $2. Imagine when oil is that price and you gotta fill up your tank. So now you gotta pay double the amount of money for your oil. Like when I lived in New York, that's what I dealt with when they was dealing with fucking with the oil prices and shit. I had my heat in my home was oil. So let me see, the tank would last like every 3 months. When I go to purchase oil, I don't know how much I'm gonna have to spend because it all goes on the price of oil that day. You know, if that day the price of oil was $1.50, I gotta buy 275 gallons at $1.50 each. That's a lot. You know, off the chain. But yeah, I learned quickly how to go and get me some what's that other gas they sell at the gas station? Not unleaded. What's that other gas they sell? The
diesel.
Propane? No, not propane. Was it propane?
Diesel?
No, not propane. No, not diesel. Okay,
Petrol.
they got unleaded, they got diesel, and it's one other one. Yeah, but you could put it in your furnace too. It's it works like oil in your furnace. I forget. Maybe it is propane. Kerosene.
No, kerosene.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Damn right, it's kerosene. Yep, that's it. If you can't get any oil, kerosene works just as good in a furnace. Because of oil guy actually told me that, like, one of the workers that worked for the oil company that come and fill up your tank or whatever, he was telling me, because in those winters in New York is crazy. And you can't turn off your heat. It can get quite expensive. And he was like, if you can't afford, he was like, you could run your oil tank on. I used to run my oil tank on $20 worth of kerosene, and it would work for our heat and hot water for at least 5 days of $20. Whereas you would have to use a lot of oil, and kerosene actually burns cleaner than oil, but they still got everybody using oil in their furnaces. All about money, and it's tearing up the environment, and it really ain't good. It makes soot and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Kerosene is cheaper and it's cleaner, a cleaner fuel, but they won't allow it to be used in furnaces. It's crazy, yo.
I remember my mom used to use the kerosene in the furnace. That's a fact. I remember the smell and everything. I remember one time that furnace burnt my back because I'm sitting there. How you stand trying to get warm. Burnt my back up.
You trying to get warm? It's a yeah. They kind of outlawed those heaters because a lot of house fires was with those the kerosene.
You gotta be in 90s, 80s babies to know.
Yeah. I was
young
70s.
Yeah.
But
real
yeah.
furnaces. Y'all had the
Yeah.
real
Once
furnaces.
again, it's been a great. Yes, absolutely. Those bad boys where they had the monsters, Now they got the little energy efficient type furnaces when you get the newer houses or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy. But because like a lot of these older houses right here in Baltimore still have those monster ass furnaces in the basement. And these
I know what you're talking
elderly
about.
people, elderly people and a lot of people that couldn't afford to, upgrade their furnace system, it costs it costs at least 5,000 or more, no less than 5,000 to like upgrade your furnace to like a newer one or whatever. 5,000.
Wow.
Crazy, yo.
Yeah.
So like older people, they don't be having that type of money. So a lot of these houses are like not in good condition. The older one.
Renovating them and putting new wood on top of the old wood. That's why they're selling a lot of houses for like $1. They say they got these programs called Buy the Block, and they want you to put a couple of dollars down to build up tore down homes where they just need to tear it all down and build from scratch.
Right.
I mean,
and
they
they
trying to
want you
make
to
us
buy
buy
it for $1.
burnt up
A house that
homes
needs to be turned down.
Yeah, like you can't expect people to do anything with that, but that's another imperialistic mind frame where they trying to have us more in debt.
That's why they have block after block here in Baltimore that's just dilapidated. The whole entire block is of.
I know what you're saying. Right out there, the west and the east Baltimore.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're saying.
And down
It's like-
Cherry Hill area and all of that. It's like blocks after blocks. I say, yo,
take a bulldozer.
Let me come into some money.
Take them down just like they do the forests and the woods.
Yeah.
Take a bulldozer and let us buy the materials and buy the block up and build up like we should.
Rebuild the houses.
Yeah,
why won't they sell the plot after they bulldoze the houses down? Yeah, after they bulldoze the houses down, then give us the opportunity to buy the plot and build because there's plenty of us that can build. But the reason that they keep the blocks dilapidated like that is strictly for zoning, and it keeps the property values really low in those areas.
And political reasons doing the voting.
Yes. I have actually seen entire blocks that got like one house that's operating, that's livable on the whole block. There's one house that's livable. I said, wow, that's crazy. But it definitely can be solved. I see all these companies that be on TV. They'll buy your house for cash. All those those places that are popping up now that will you buy your houses and whatnot. So what they do is they buy them and they redo them on the inside and then they rent them for more money. But I don't know why Black people can't. What is it that be blocking us from those programs? Because these is actually like rental programs, or they house flipping programs. When they come, they literally get the money to get one house and they flip that. But they got a team of people that can do the work. But then you got to have an account with like Home Depot, because they redoing
For
the
the
floors,
materials.
they redoing the
Yeah.
cabinets, refrigerators, the appliances and stuff to put in there. All of that shit costs big time dough, but it really is as much as having an account with a place like Home Depot.
And group economics,
You're
where
having
it's
a
like
credit
5 of
line
us.
where you can,
Yeah.
where you can
And
do
it's like
that.
5.
But
It's like this. I heard of groups doing that. It'd be like they'll start off good. They'll say like, hey, you put up some money for us to go get this house, and we getting 3 to 4 houses. And it'll start off good, but then it turned into a Ponzi scheme. One person got rich while everybody else waiting on their money.
yeah, like how does it do that? Somebody's not being honest, because the money comes through. Like,
yeah,
it should. It should.
It's all about
It's like that.
accountability and trust, man. Like, I mean, like I know,
Yeah, what was
like
it,
with us.
DJ Envy? You heard about the
Yeah.
Ponzi
I ain't want to
scheme,
say. I ain't
DJ
want to say
Envy
their
and whatnot?
names. You exactly
Yeah,
right.
it doesn't
And that
matter.
boy
Yeah,
Morris, Jay Morris or something out of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even want to say their names, but you know who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about, man. It's a damn shame, man.
I was actually looking at the
Damn
little
shame.
documentary they had about that scheme, and it was crazy. But they
I remember
actually
one time
got
I was in
people
Detroit.
that had money to support them, and that's crazy when you, as hard as it is to get anybody to support your vision financially.
Yeah.
They had the nerve to find multiple people that had a few million to invest. One guy had $1 million, one guy 400,000, another guy 2 million. I was like, oh my man, he had people that actually support his vision, and they,
Bernie Madoff.
But I think it was DJ Envy claims that he had nothing to do with it or whatever.
I ain't had nothing to do with it. I plead the fifth. Shit.
Yeah, they're gonna find out where the money.
You got to check.
If he got any money in his pocket, they're gonna find out.
Like,
yeah, because he was running people to him. Like, he may not have anything to do with the paperwork, but he was like
the face of
funneling people, and people was actually dealing with the guy because they saw him. DJ Envy is
DJ Envy, we trust him. We trust him. He's good guy.
he promoting this guy. So that's crazy.
They both scheming.
And he making it hard for everybody to get people to support them now.
Yeah.
Everybody,
that's like if I had a real estate portfolio and I want to bring people on and be like, nah, we seen what DJ Envy did.
Like, exactly. Nah. Like, oh, this isn't one of those schemes, and then you literally gotta have
you could be 100% legit. Like, yo, the 5 of us or the 10 of us, y'all gonna get 100K at least within 6 months. Won't believe shit you say.
You're like,
okay.
Yeah. 6 months. Though. Like, put that in writing, please. Yeah, because they started to confiscate his personal stuff to sell to pay these people back. Like, they're gonna confiscate his personal shit to pay these people back.
You gonna see
DJ
can't come up with none of
that. Oh, he probably on the radio show. He used their money to buy his shit, right? His houses and whatnot. So
you gonna see the feds run up on the Breakfast Club.
Yo, at this point, anything can happen. We might see anything.
Hey, yo, they'll be doing the donkey of the day, then the feds come busting through that shit.
Didn't they say the young man was laughing? What's his name? Wyan Nelly, the one that was in prison. They read his prison sentence and he got life. He got life.
He was sitting there laughing with his lawyer.
Sitting there laughing, yo.
Playing this song because this what happened. The prosecutor played this song. And the song is related not to his case, but it's some shit that is similar to what he was doing.
Yeah, some of the lyrics had something about the murder in it, right?
He looking at his lawyer laughing too, and of course she gonna laugh. She's a court-appointed lawyer. She could care less if you win or you lose. She going home with a check. She already got her money.
Yeah.
And her publicity already ringing. All the little rappers gonna want to go to her and be like, oh well, shit, she helped him get 100 fucking years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
she helped him get 100 years.
It's wicked out there, man.
Yo, it was 100 years though.
I don't know.
It was 100 years.
I was going off what you said. I didn't know how many years he got.
No, but so I heard life, which is what 25 years.
life.
But I don't know if they
What
said
about
if you had a
parole?
chance of parole. I don't remember that. I don't remember if they gave him a chance for parole or not.
And
we
the ball. We had a meeting earlier, and I had told one of the elders. I said, the elders dropped the ball, man, because we want to turn the youth from shooters into revolutionaries, to political scientists, to educators, to politicians. You know what I mean? Even if they go the athlete road, don't just sign a contract, multiply your contract. You know what I'm saying? Feed your community, start doing food drives, clothes drives. You know what I mean? Buy properties, gain that power. You know what I'm saying? Like even LeBron, all them ball players from LeBron, Carmelo, Jordan, all the ones who still alive with multi-millions, them boys could go buy an HBCU college. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? HBCUs don't have funding to the second. You know what I mean? And
that's the thing. It's absolutely possible to create your own college.
Yeah.
Here they are. But see, what we're also finding out is that we look at them, our athletes and our celebrities, as holding of all these millions of dollars. But come to find out, it's not even like that for them. Like if they wanted to get 50,000, they gotta ask this one gotta ask this one, they gotta get, too many handlers and whatnot. Like, come to find out, none of our millionaires die with their money. We're gonna see what this next wave is gonna do, that the younger wave, but the older waves that came and went, none of them died to get money to where it could be transferred over to their family. None of them. I'm talking about all our singers, and our athletes.
For royalties.
Kobe lucky, his money pretty much was in the bag because he had insurance up the wazoo and this and that. His family's good. But I'm talking about like a lot of our celebrities, like the entire music industry up until like the 80s, even until like Michael Jackson and them. He was in financial disarray when he died. It wasn't a whole bunch of money
He's
to come out of,
for his money.
and he's supposed to be a billionaire. Michael Jackson had to be over a damn billionaire or whatever. He probably was the world's first damn zillionaire or whatever. But
his family just sold his catalog back to Sony. His family just sold his catalog back to Sony for $500 million. And you know his catalog owned the Beatles. He owned Eminem.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he owned what record label? I think he was on half.
He owned the
Sony's
Beatles.
publishing.
Maybe it was Epic. He might have owned Epic.
Then he owned the record label, and they just sold that for $500 million. I mean,
damn.
You know what I'm saying? And Sony had
that's a lot of money, but it's close to $1 billion. But that damn Beatles catalog by itself is probably worth $1 billion. With that stupid ass group, that music and love you, yeah.
John Lennon and all them. I tried to listen to a John Lennon song.
In the
I'm
world?
like, yo, I couldn't get it, man.
Plus the way the one guy got killed.
Yeah, they took John Lennon out.
Yeah, the way that
I tried to listen to what he was saying. I couldn't even comprehend. I'm like, yo, listen, whatever they took you out for,
I know.
whatever. They did it. You know what I mean?
Hard to even make out his words on the songs, but whatever he was saying, they murdered him for it.
They got him for it. Crazy. They knew what he was saying. They played that shit backwards.
Crazy. They'll kill their own. They'll kill anybody that
they eat their own.
Is able to, because at that time John Lennon had the power to unite all colors. All people was falling for John. All peoples was falling for him. So there was too much of a unity thing. Oh yeah,
Jimi Hendrix. I heard about that.
I would say so because he was very political. with his shit. So was Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin,
Yeah.
I heard about that one. Yep.
Yeah, she was off the chain singer. But yes, we are about to wrap up another segment of the Tanya 23 experience. And our brother Raheem, thank you so much for your presence. At the
Appreciate
end of the day, we be the last two standing.
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, Sister Yvette should be back joining us next week. I had actually told her earlier that I thought I was going to cancel because I had, family come in. But when everybody shipped out earlier, I was like, oh, well, we can probably still get it in. So, that we did. And yeah, so we'll be thinking of our next topic for next Sunday. We'll see how this week goes because it might be a current topic. So you never know. I kind of like wait till Saturday night to see what's going on before I pick up, a topic. Because like you said, what a time to be alive. At this point, anything can happen. So I was listening to a podcast about a brother. He does the UFO alien type thing. He had a call-in segment, and it was incredible the amount of people that called in that said they have had a experience in the recent year. So it was mainly our people. Yeah, it was mainly our people calling in, and they had some serious info they was talking. It was deep. I'll shoot you the link. Check it out. I said all
I ain't
people
gonna
is
watch it
tapping.
tonight because I don't want to get spooky.
Yeah, right. Listen, all people is tapping in. Yo, they had me like, what? Whoa, yo, we tapping in out here. Yeah, Star Trek ain't got nothing on us. We definitely we on our Star Family shit for real, yo.
I ain't trying to see none of that.
Absolutely, I was blown away about the people that was what they were saying. So, yeah,
you know what's crazy though? I seen, and I think he was a little bit on drugs, or he couldn't be homeless though, because it was about as out north of where we was at. I had to meet him, and the brother he said, "Hey man, you asked me some crazy shit." And he started talking. He said, "What's your name?" But he was laying down, like on his back. You know what I mean? Fully dressed, of course, but he outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, I'm always gonna give him a couple dollars. You know what I mean? By giving him a pound, because I ain't had no dollars for him today. I gave him a black pound. You know what I'm saying? I was on my way to the meeting, but in my mind frame, I remember a few years ago, I read To Behold a Pale Horse by Robert William Cooper.
Yeah.
And he was operations specialist, second class out of the Navy. And when I read that book, I had like a year left in the Navy. And I remember telling my cousin, Abdul, he out North Philly, out Germantown, we was talking about the book. He said, and I said, I believe everything about that book except the aliens. He said, no, the aliens are real. The aliens are real. They out here. It's 2011 time frame when he was telling me this. 2011. Yeah. It's 2024 now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I was a little younger and naive then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think you woke. It's levels to it. You learn something new every day.
You up and gave you the truth.
And he
said,
put the
Nate,
word
out
in my
here.
brain then. I still wasn't believing it. And during that time frame, my babies wasn't even born. I think my daughter was like 2-3 months. My son wasn't even born. But I seen death, I seen jail, I seen a lot of things, but I ain't seen no fucking aliens. You know what I'm saying? 2024, they out here. I say they out there. You know what I mean?
You say that no damn more.
I think I seen a few of them myself.
You saw the ship they was in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They out there. You know what I mean? I still don't want to see them though.
I had an experience, when they were talking about the shapeshifters. Now I had just learned.
I seen the shapeshifter on live one day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw on
sitting back like this. I was sitting back. It was on a Saturday night. I was smoking a blunt, about to pick up my old lady, and somebody was having a live on Facebook, and I seen that mother. I was like, yeah, that's a demon.
Wow.
There it is. That was a shape-shifting moment. I don't care what nobody say. And during that time frame, I felt sympathy. I was like, yo, I hope that person all right. And I came to realize that's what shapeshifters are. You'll be surprised. Then they'll wake up like,
wow.
I'm good. Nah, that demon came up out of him. That demon came up out of him. There it is.
Yes, I
You know
seen
what I mean?
the eye one. You know, the eye shift that they do when their eye turns into like the cat eye or whatever, the pupil. I seen that shit talking to this white chick and her eyes switched. And it was me and this other chick, another black chick, and she's standing right there. And we're talking to the same girl. And I seen her eyes switch. I said, oh shit. And I was just reading something about it, right? And then when her eyes switched, I was like, I asked the girl, I said, did you see that? She was like, nah, I ain't see that. I was like, oh my God.
Mason, get away from me.
It was so crazy. Yo, it wasn't nothing like that. Her eyes switched and I seen her like try to pull it back.
She tried to pull it back.
Oh, she couldn't hide it from me. Her eyes went like that. She tried to. I was like, no, I see it. I see it.
About face.
You see my eye go. I went. And she knew I had seen it or whatever. Yo, soon after that, I wasn't even working there no more. It was crazy.
Hey, for real though, dealing with people, you might have to play crazy with them like that. You could play crazy with them like that. You know what I mean? I might not know karate, but I know crazy.
Crazy. That is so funny.
I'm gonna start shapeshifting.
I can just picture what that looks like, you know.
I'm a shapeshift on your ass. Keep fucking with me.
Okay, I'll be doing a form of karate and a can of whoop ass on it at the same time. They were like, what kind of fight is that? But you know how we gonna be like, we gonna be out of there.
Gotta match their craziness.
We don't never stand there and fight though. We like, you
especially
fight, we out of here.
Yeah, I fight, but you see you shake.
But I was talking to some family members and they firmly believed that the people was fucking with some shit in Miami and opened up a portal and the damn aliens came out and they were like,
you heard about what happened in the mall? You remember what they said in the mall?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I still ain't
when all
seen
the
no
police
pictures.
They had this one. I had one. They had this one video, but it was a mad tall being, yo. That joint was mad big tall. And it was like walking outside the mall and the police was out there. And the police, it was just the two police cars. That joint was walking. It was like a shadowy picture, but you seen a mad tall figure. We was like, oh my gosh, yo, that was it. I don't know where that video is now. I definitely saw it. That's like millions of videos ago. But
hey, for real, that's why I lay me down to sleep. That's why I say now.
The one guy that listen, the one guy that was not too far, he didn't live far from the mall. He had a tall being in his backyard. The joint did something and it looked like it was naked and it was just sitting down like this or whatever. It looked like it had black skin. Yo, that's a whole other show, but ain't no white aliens, yo.
Nah, ain't no white aliens. They black. That's facts.
They can forget that crap.
You know what I mean? And for real,
scared and running.
Yeah, the aliens are black. The reptilians are white. The ones that's coming out the caves and the mountains.
They always try to paint the reptilians as us.
Nah. That's something I'm realizing even more. Nah, the ones coming out the sky with the motherships, that's us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the ones coming out the caves and the sea monsters and all them, they ain't got nothing to do with us. You know what I mean?
And I don't know. We might be in the water too.
Yeah, I heard.
Because them ships be going down in the ocean.
Hey,
I don't know, but
you ever take a cruise out to sea and you'll sit in the middle of the Atlantic, you'll see how powerful the water is. You'll see.
Listen, my
the
father's a
powers.
Navy man, and he was telling me about an experience he had out there in the middle of the ocean, where he knows for a fact they was going down, and it was definitely a unidentified object that saved their ship from capsizing.
Dang.
Yeah, indeed. And I forget the name of his ship, but he was the USS something something. But yeah, he got pictures of it. Yeah, my dad was a Navy man, and I think he went to, I know he went to Africa, he went to Italy, Germany.
What was he
all those
stationed out
different
of? What
places.
was he stationed out of? Norfolk, Philly, Baltimore? Because I know during that time frame they had a lot of naval stations during that time frame on the East Coast.
He was stationed out of California at that time.
Okay, Cali, yeah.
He lived
San
in
Diego,
California
then.
at that time.
Out of San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think when he joined, he lived in New York. So he went from New York, and he ended up his first run or whatever. He ended up living in California for a while before he came back to New York. Yeah.
I don't want to go back to that ocean.
Stories to tell.
Sea stories, that's what it's called. Sea stories. What happened overseas, stay overseas.
I forget what his position was, but he is a electronic technician. So whatever the electronic technicians do.
ET. Abbreviation ET.
But the guy that was supposed to, oh, okay. Well, the man that was supposed to be man in the wheel or whatever, he would sleep.
Oh, that's the
his ass went to sleep when the shit started bugging out. Yeah,
that's the helmsman. The helmsman.
Yeah,
the helmsman of the watch when he's
get him
steering
on a
the ship like
podcast.
this.
I'm trying to get him on a podcast. So
I'll be falling asleep too if somebody was trying to take over the ship.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on a podcast so he'll tell the story.
Yeah, get him up here.
Wow.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I guess it's a hard job. It's more than one person. It takes more than one to man the ship, right?
Well, the
More than
helmsman
one
is standing. He's standing in that watch for 4 hours, no matter what time it is. You could be from 12 to 4, and it be middle of the night. The boat rocking. You still gotta hold it, and you got the captain of the deck. You know what I'm saying? The officer of the deck. Everybody could be tired. You know what I'm saying? Especially underway. So the helmsman like this. You know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, you got the Loch Ness Monster coming out the water. I'm falling asleep too. Facts.
Yo, that must have been crazy, yo. Especially when most of the men were really young. You know, my dad, he went in at 16.
Yeah.
You know, and so that must have been crazy scary out there in the middle of y'all all got a job to do and this and that. Well, the captain or the whoever, they have what on every ship when y'all go out, y'all have, of course, a captain, but like who are the other leaders? What are their positions? Like the leaders that go out to sea?
Well, the whole
you
crew
just have
goes out to sea, but when you're out to sea and you're on the bridge, it's the officer of the deck. The captain does be on the bridge, but he's not up there 24/7, 365. He has stationary people who has 4-hour watches. You know what I'm saying? But whoever, like usually on the bridge, it's the deck seamen who's running the bridge. Truthfully, the deck seamen, they running the helmsman. They running the petty officer of the watch. The petty officer of the watch got the goggles or whichever. They watching everything out in the water. You know what I'm saying? They see the whales jumping out the water. They'll see they got the NAS oceanic lenses where they could look underwater to see if there's any submarines or any other whales that could interfere with the ship's movement. So it's very technical when it comes to getting out to sea and basically protecting the ship from being hit by anything. You know, you got to be alert.
Wow.
But there are ships that run a course.
Yeah.
They run into each other. Then the captain get fired, you know, and then the captain could say the helmsman fell asleep, but the captain going to take the fall regardless.
Wow.
Like the captain who ran into the bridge out there.
They've been running in bridges a lot lately.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Even though I think that was deliberate.
Yeah, I
the
said, how in the
leverage.
world you losing power when you just now left the dock? I said he didn't have his shit straightened out right anyway, because you had all this space in the middle and you over here by the pillar. I said, you ain't had this shit right anyway before when you had power. What the heck? You were supposed to be like, stop, don't
like
do
this.
that. Yeah, don't even pull off if you ain't got no power, motherfucker.
He's trying to
I'm
whip
saying,
that.
but it's like a car.
He's
You
doing a
ever
parallel
have a car like listen, it's like driving a car and the belt, whatever the belt is, the serpentine belt pops or whatever, and you lose your power steering and you gotta manually do the wheel. Well, that happened to me a couple of times. Damn wheel gets so hard to turn. Oh my God. Yo, believe how hard it is to turn your wheel without the power.
I know what it is. You putting your whole body into it. Yeah, that belt pop. I know exactly what you're saying.
You might have to take a turn or something. And you
better hit the emergency brake.
Yeah, and I had to drive home all the way. I had to drive all the way from downtown Baltimore all the way here where I'm at to with my serpentine belt broken. I had to drive all the way home like that, and I was trying to pull in my yard and all this that I got that day. I said I am not moving that shit. I let a tow truck come and pick it up the next time, but it was crazy.
That's what happened with that shit. The
Do when you
serpentine belt pop.
Yeah. Yep. And that one belt, it runs a couple of different things. The alternator, was it? No. Yeah, it's like the alternator radiator system or whatever. Without that, yeah. Well, it's just the belt, but you need to get another belt. When the belt keeping it spinning, keeps it going. But yeah, it's crazy when that shit break. That means yeah, it is the alternator that's going bad because your car just be running off your battery at that point. So you be just driving and all of a sudden all these lights come on. I used to be like, oh man. I used to be like, I gotta get home. I'll park that shit. I'm taking the bus to work. I don't even be bothered.
I know the feeling.
I always live near a bus stop, right? Yes. Crazy. But yeah, let's wrap up this session. And we'll be back next week. It is 10 minutes to midnight. We pulled a long one this time. But yeah, it didn't even
I
seem
slept
like
all
that
weekend
long.
anyway, though. I ain't do much this weekend. I gotta be at work at 7. I rested up this weekend. I ain't do much.
Oh yeah, in the morning.
Yep, I gotta be at work at 7.
So
I
you
just
got
get
your
5
rest
hours
this
of sleep,
weekend.
soldier's hours. I appreciate you for letting me come on board once again.
You know what?
This is
It
a great
seems like
dialogue.
I've been getting. It seemed like I've been getting about that amount of sleep. Like it hasn't been 7 hours of sleep in a while. It's literally like 5 hours when I just like I gotta get up. I can't sleep no more.
Get you a 7 if
like
you
if I
can.
stay up late and you sleep later. Yeah, definitely. But yep. So I'll be in contact with you, and till next Sunday, we'll see everybody with a new topic to tackle. There's so many out there, so we'll be tackling topics until whenever. This looks like a never-ending thing. But peace, Black Power. Have a wonderful week. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. We're gonna be ready for whatever. But have a great week and let the kids have a great week in school, and we will see you soon at the Tanya 23 experience. Peace. Peace out. All right. 1